Hello, everyone. Bob Wendell, Tony Rossi at Stadium 76, set for Elks Bowl 11. Gavilan and Merced College at Stadium 76, and here's the kickoff as Merced will receive to start this game, and the kick goes out of bounds on the near sideline, and the flag is thrown, so we'll see what the officials do. Usually I think at this point, the offense comes onto the field, and the ball comes out to the 35-yard line.
You know, Bob, in talking about this ball game, Gavilan College comes in with a record of 8 wins and only 2 losses. They played some pretty good ball clubs during that year. And Merced College played in a great conference. As you know, they're 6-3-1. So it's going to be a good ball game out here today. And, you know, it's nice because the funds of this ball game go to crippled children. It's a big Elks program, and it's a wonderful thing for the crippled children.
Ball out the 35-yard line. Years ago, it used to be a 5-yard penalty on the kickoff, and you'd get it again. But anymore, it just comes out to the 35-yard line. And that's where the Blue Devils take over. 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Pitch back to Collins, sweeping the right side. A tackler, and the second guy gets him. The first guy undercuts him for Gavilan, and that is Jason Hollanda. And he undercuts Odell Collins back at the 33-yard line, and another tackler comes up and hits him high, and down goes Collins, a loss of 2 on the 1st and 10 carry.
Well, Collins has got over 1,600 yards this year, Bob. What an outstanding running back he is. You don't see too many running backs at 6'3", 240 pounds. If they are, they're fullbacks, and Collins has got the sprinter speed, so he is a tremendous running back.
Couple wide to the right side now. Backs out of the eye. Murdoch, play action, looks to pass. Hits, looks for Johnson out of the backfield at the line of scrimmage, and it's a little bit too far out of the reach of Johnson. It goes incomplete, and it will bring up 3rd down and 12 for Merced at their own 33-yard line.
I got a chance to talk to their coach, Gavilan College. He's very concerned about Collins. He knows he's a fine running back. He's also concerned, Bob, about Corey Johnson. He said those guys will eat you up, and that's exactly what they do. They take an awful lot of yardage from you. They're power running backs.
Well, Johnson and Collins are the split backs behind Murdoch with wide receivers left and right on 3rd down and 12. Murdoch straight back to pass. Looks right and throws short. It's incomplete. He was hit as he tried to get the ball off. It goes incomplete. And Merced's first drive does not produce any yardage.
We know Gavilan comes into this game with a record of 8-2, as we told you. And when you talk about their record, let's talk about that for a second. Gavilan started the season in a wild one, Bob, against City College of San Francisco. And it was a 46-33 score, if you can imagine. The Blue Devils lining up over here. That was one of their losses. Later on, they lost to Gavilan, another thriller, 44-30.
Eric Stenberg to punt. Nice snap, plenty of time. Stenberg, line drive kick. John Ohms for Gavilan. Picks it up on a bounce at the 30, and he's hit immediately and struggles across to the 32. And Gavilan will have the ball at their own 32-yard line, 1st and 10. And for the first time this afternoon in Elks Bowl 11, Gavilan College will have the ball on offense. And what a powerful offense they have.
Well, I tell you, they are outstanding. Let's talk about their offensive unit. The wide receiver, Gary Guthmiller, 6'2", 195. The offensive tackle, Tom Neri, 6'4", 295. The offensive guard, Scott Elizondo, he's 6'5", 260. Andy Momberg, the center, is an All-American choice, second team, 6'2", 260. They've got some big dudes in there, Bob, along with their great quarterback and running back.
Josh Walwork is the quarterback. Pittman is the tailback. A flag goes down as Pittman was in motion. It's a wide receiver screen up the middle, across the 45 into the 50, and down the near sideline. And he'll be pushed out of bounds inside the 15-yard line, but there are motion penalties all over against Gavilan. This one will come back.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Gavilan College, of course, disappointed, but they knew right away then the referees threw those flags that they were going to. Matter of fact, the quarterback just stayed back there and pointed to the flag and said, guys, we're going to have to do it again. Gavilan decked out in those blue jerseys with the white numerals and the blue numeral, with the blue numeral on the white jersey, I should say, with the blue helmet. The Blue Devils decked out in all blue today with those gold numerals and also the blue helmets. And they're excited about being in this bowl game. Bob, you look out and you see those flags blowing across the field, whether or not that has any sort of bearing in this ball game when it comes to passing. But to me, we have an outstanding day for football out here. They said it's going to get up to, what, 58, 59 degrees today? It's a beautiful day.
It is an absolutely gorgeous afternoon. One of the best afternoons we've had for an Elks Bowl in my memory. I don't remember a day this beautiful. There probably have been some. There have been so many of these games. This is the 11th one, but in my recent memory, I can't remember a game that had such a pretty afternoon.
You know, in addition to broadcasting our ball game on KFIE today, we welcome TCI Cable of Merced, and it's nice of them to come out for the 2nd year in a row, and they like our announcing and said, hey, we'd like to have you guys out here, so we're really delighted.
1st down and 15 now. Ball work Gives to Pittman, left side of the line, and struggles for some yardage out to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards for Stacy Pittman, the fine running back out of Gavilan College.
You know, there's a big remote going on in the city of Livingston today. KFIE is out there at the Livingston Plaza, and they've been calling in using their remote facilities to do that, and they're real proud to be out there. Some fine sponsors, and I'll tell you what, if you get a chance, go by the Livingston shopping center out there and meet some of the disc jockeys from KFIE. There'll be some parts of the staff there to meet you too, so go down there and say hello.
2nd down and 12 now for Gavilan at their own 30-yard line. Walwork back to pass in the pocket, has time over the middle, has a man there. It's complete out to the 37-yard line.
Walwork can throw the ball. There were several articles written on him in the paper. This guy can throw. I think what's upsetting him, though, Bob, is the fact that they played Fresno City last year, and they couldn't win their ball game in the Producers Bowl down in Fresno. And he said, hey, we're not going to lose 2 years in a row. What amazes me about Gavilan College is they've been in bowl games 6 out of the last 7 years.
Well, the big tight end, Jeff Thomas, gets them out to the 37-yard line on that reception, but it's 3rd down and about 5 yards to go now for a 1st down. Walwork play action, rolling to his right, looking to pass, has a man out there, complete at the 45, and out of bounds on the near sideline, but a 1st down for Gavilan as the wide receiver, Gary Guthmiller, makes the catch for Gavilan out to the 47-yard line.
You know, if you didn't know it and you came to the field right now, you might think that Gavilan is Merced College with those jerseys, right?
Boy, they look like Merced College.
Oh, absolutely. Same blue and white, and that's the traveling jersey for Merced College.
A spot at the 48. It's 1st and 10 Gavilan. Walwork pitch back Pittman. Sweeping left side across the 50 and down to the Blue Devil 49. And a nice tackle made out there.
We were talking about that starting offense. The wide receivers today, Brian Wright, 5'11", 190 for Gavilan. The wide receiver, Steve Alcari, he's 5'8", 170, a freshman. Running back, Stacy Pittman, we were telling you about, 5'11", 233, the sophomore. The quarterback, Josh Walwork. We'll tell you more about him in a minute. Big guy, Bob, 6'4", 210, eats a lot of Wheaties. The tight end, Jeff Thomas, 6'2", 235. Offensive tackle, David Perales, he's 6'2", 300 pounds.
Pittman left side of the line, some running room inside the 45 and down to the Blue Devil 43-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down, but a nice pickup of about 7 or 8 yards by the tailback, Stacy Pittman. He's big, 5'11", 233 pounds.
Boy, I'll tell you. You know what? On TCI Cable of Merced, if you want to see this, and we are plugging, of course, on the radio today with KFIE, Tuesday the 7th, and then Thursday the 9th. This will be at 7 p.m. So be sure to tune into TCI Cable. You'll hear Bob and I broadcasting the ball game, and you'll be able to see the ball game. That's Tuesday night at the 7 p.m. and also Thursday at 9. I said Thursday the 9th at 7 p.m.
Here's Pittman, right side of the line. He gets the 1st down to the Blue Devil 41 before he's pushed back. So Pittman, the big guy, is a real workhorse and gets the 1st down for Gavilan at the Blue Devil 41-yard line. First quarter, no score, 11:25. Merced's first drive ended in a punt, and Gavilan's on their first drive of the afternoon of Elks Bowl 11.
You know, these teams have played 7 times before, Bob, and Merced leads the series 4-3. And the first one was in 1964 when Merced won over Gavilan 40-6. But, of course, Gavilan came back and got some of the wins against the Blue Devils, too.
1st and 10. There's a fumble on the snap, and Walwork falls on it back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard. And now in a tailback is David Snap replacing Pittman. Pittman went out.
Defensively for the Blue Devils, they have left end Ricky Smith, 6'3", 230. Left tackle Jose Gonzalez, 6'2", 275. Right tackle Derek Anderson, 6'2", 250. Right end is Eddie Davis, 6'4", 235. Boy, he's been a great find for the Blue Devils this year, hasn't he, Bob?
Boy, tremendous. They've been tremendous on offense or defense all around. Blue Devils turn around, and a give is to the tailback, and he's inside the 40 down to the Blue Devil 37-yard line, and that is David Snap.
A guy that's done everything, and you talk about being on the All-American Junior College team. Well, Wally Waller was selected to the team, and, you know, we'll talk about some of the other ball players from Gavilan College, and I think there's 4 ball players from Gavilan that are on the All-American team. Isn't that amazing to you?
Boy, they've had a good season. Yeah, they've had a good season this year.
So Wally Waller is the 230th sophomore. That's a real leader on the field. There was articles about Wally Waller, too.
3rd down, about 7 yards to go. Gavilan at the Blue Devil 37-yard line. Here's Walwork back to pass. Deep down the right sideline, a man out there, and it's almost intercepted and knocked down incomplete at the 15-yard line. And a nice defensive play by Derek Clay back there on the wide receiver, Brian Wright.
Well, the rest of that defense for you, the linebacker, Chris Bernard, 5'9", 185. Strong safety, Kerry Frazier, 6'1", 215. The weak safety is Joe Pickett, 6'1", 200 pounds. The free safety is Alvin Taylor, 6 foot tall, 220. The left corner is Derek Clace, 5'9", 155. And the right corner
rolling
is Davis.
To his right. And he's got a man there, complete inside the 30 and a first down at the Blue Devil 27-yard line.
Now, you know, I started to say before we had the play go off, the right cornerback, J.R. Davis, 6 foot tall, 165. What about Davis, Bob? There's a ball player that's been a big factor in this ball club, too, defensively back there.
He's had several interceptions. He's been a key.
But the Blue Devils have played some good football this year, played a great conference schedule, and outside of conference, too. The Blue Devils usually don't have a weak sister in there. They played Kings River this year, but even Kings River was a test for a lot of ball clubs this year.
1st and 10, Gavilan. On the 4th down catch by Guthmiller. Play action. Walwork being chased out of the pocket, rolling to his left. Has some running room. He's going to tuck it and run inside the 25, 20, and down inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. He'll have a first down for Gavilan.
We were talking, too, about what they did scoring-wise. They lost that first one 46-33. Then they played Los Medanos. Now, Los Medanos normally, Bob, is not a good ball club, and it was a thriller. It came down the last few minutes, 20-19, and we'll talk more about their scoring. They beat Gavilan, beat Hartnell 45-15. They don't waste much time coming out of that huddle, do they?
1st and 10, Gavilan driving inside the Blue Devil 20 at the 16. Pittman gets the call. Behind some blockers, stays on his feet and chugs down to about the 11-yard line. Stacy Pittman, 5 tough yards up the middle.
Now, what about the quick huddle? Not quick huddle, the quick offense getting right back to the line. That's got to rattle a ball club when you're on defense, right?
Well, it does not give the defense time to adjust.
And that's what they're doing right now.
Pitch back, Pittman, left side. And this time he gets buried back at about the 10-yard line.
One of the things Tony Lewis has done over the years, the fine coach for the Blue Devils, is stress defense. But the last couple of years, and you and I know that, he was trying to coach as a head man, and he got away from the defensive and started trying to learn more about offense as a head man and things like that. And the defense suffered. But I think they came back this year, did a nice job with that defense.
3rd down, about 3 yards to go at the 10-yard line. I said back at the 10 on the play. I thought that Pittman was going to be dropped for a little bit of a loss. Actually got a yard out of it. It's 3rd and about, let's call it 3 at the 10. Ball work, and now we've got a flag before the snap.
We were talking about All-American. Merced College tailback Odell Collins was named honorable mention All-American by J.C. Gridwire. And then Collins is 6'3", 240, of course, from Athens, Georgia. We told you about him. Earlier honored as the co-most valuable player in the Northern California Football League. Collins finished the regular season as the 4th leading rusher in the state of California, 1,618 yards. So we'll look forward to seeing him carry the ball.
5-yard penalty, legal procedure. Walwork pitches out to Pittman. There's a fumble on the play, and let's see, there's a pile outside the 10, and Gavilan gets it back. Actually ended up with some positive yards out of it.
But then we're going to tell you about Gavilan College, too. Members of Gavilan College, Merced's opponent today in the Elks Bowl, earning second-team honors was sophomore center Andy Molberg, while honorable mention picks were sophomore quarterback Josh Walwork and sophomore receiver Gary Guthmiller. So
on 4th down, here's Walwork looking to pass, pumps to the end zone, now has a man, and he's got a touchdown, Gavilan.
How about that, sport fans?
Gary Guthmiller makes the catch on a 4th down play. And Gavilan has taken the early lead in Elks Bowl 11, 6-0. On the 4th down catch, nice scramble by Walwork, and finally found Guthmiller open in the end zone for a touchdown. Juan Rios comes in to attempt the extra point. With 7:44 to go in the first quarter, Gavilan up by 6, looking for point number 7. And it's up and good. 7:44 to go, first quarter, and the score is Gavilan 7 and Merced nothing. We'll be back to Elks Bowl 11 in just a minute. You're listening to Elks Bowl 11 on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Back at Stadium 76, Derek Clay, Raymond Taylor, back deep to receive this kickoff. As Gavilan has taken the lead 7-0.
You know, Guthmiller, 13-yard reception. What a pass receiver, 7:44 to go. And the Blue Devils now will get the ball and see what they can do. Gavilan scores a lot of points. Started to tell you about them a moment ago. We'll go through those scores with you this season.
Here's Juan Rios to kick it off. Nice high kick. Coming down to Taylor at about the inside the 5. Across the 15, comes to the near side, has the 20, and across the 20 and out of bounds at just inside the 30-yard line. And a nice push out of bounds there by Gavilan's Mark Robustelli.
Well, you know, they lost, I should say, the opener to San Francisco 46-33, but they've already scored 33 points in that ball game, right, Bob? They beat Los Medanos 20-19. They played Hartnell, beat them 45-15. You talk about a team scoring points. They beat Allen Hancock 46-11. They beat Monterey Peninsula 41-3. They had a thriller with De Anza 17-10, came right back and beat Kings River 52-7.
First and 10 Blue Devils just inside their own 30-yard line. They give us to Collins, left side of the line, and pushes his way out to the 33-yard line.
Then finishing out their season after plastering Kings River, they came back and lost to Modesto 44-30. There was a game that they trailed 30-7 at halftime, Bob. The coach was talking about that. So they really had to come back to get 30 points. But it was 44-30, and the coach says if we played them again, Tony, we could beat them. Gavilan then defeated Cabrillo 35-16, and also Foothill then 45-14. So they like to score.
Second down, 7. Collins left side this time, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. And no gain for Odell Collins, and maybe even lost a yard.
Well, they're keying on Odell Collins. You don't see many running backs like Odell Collins, and state honorable mention for him. He's that good. And, you know, if Collins, Bob, and you and I have talked about this, had he not had some nagging injuries through middle of the season over there, I think he'd have gone over 2,000 yards.
Well, I think you're right. He had, probably 3 or 4 games when he was only about 80%, maybe even less than that, with some ankle problems. Loss of a yard. It's 3rd down and 8 for Merced at their own 32-yard line. This time backs out of the eye, wide receivers left and right. Murdoch, the quarterback. Murdoch, play action, looking to pass, and he's going to be sacked back at the 25-yard line. Never had a chance to set up, and Murdoch is sacked at the 25-yard line, and it will bring up 4th down. The Blue Devils have yet to get a first down in this ball game on 2 possessions.
Blue Devils in this ball game trail 7-0. They'll have to give it up to Gavilan College, and Gavilan, as I said before, a high-scoring offense. Bob, you made a point too. We were talking about how strong you compare these 2 ball clubs. Merced plays probably in the toughest conference in the United States in their conference, and Gavilan kind of a questionable conference, not the deep material that we have in our conference.
Stenberg to punt. Nice high punt, drives John Rolmes all the way back to his own 25-yard line, makes the catch, comes to the near side at the 30, cuts back toward the middle, and is tackled at about the 35.
But in any case, the Northern California Conference, when you talk about the Merced College Blue Devils, I'll tell you what, you talk about playing some rough teams. The Blue Devils this year started off with Modesto, a team that's from the Coast Conference, and we were talking about that. They lost that one 16-13, came back and beat Hartnell 28-0. Beat Chabot 12-9. Beat American River 42-13. Things are going well. They played Sequoias, and everything went wrong in that ball game. Bob and I can remember that one. Sequoias jumped all over Merced, won that ball game 29-3. Merced had to come back then, beat Kings River 34-21. Also Fresno City 22-19. And then were plastered by Sac City 53-22. We'll tell you the rest in a minute.
Ball work on 1st and 10. Play action, looking to pass back toward the middle. Has a man there. The wide receiver makes the catch at the 45, and down at the 47-yard line goes Guthmiller.
I think that Sacramento City game, Bob, you weren't able to broadcast that particular one. You were out of town going to Disneyland, as I recall. Weren't you going down south?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Sacramento, it looks bad when you look at that score, but we had only 2 defensive backs that were healthy. Everybody got injured. They could not play. Consequently, they only had 1 defense they could play against Sac City, and Sac City picked it up immediately. Threw 4 touchdown passes against them.
1st and 10. Gavilan at their own 47-yard line. A couple of common opponents for the Blue Devils and Gavilan is Hartnell and Modesto. Pittman gets the call on 1st down and manages to get out to the 50-yard line up the middle.
You know, that's interesting you brought that up, because Modesto defeated the Merced College team, and also Hartnell, not Hartnell, but Gavilan College lost to that ball club too. And both coaches feel if they played them again, they should have won.
Yeah.
Both coaches say that.
2nd down and 7. Ball at the 50-yard line. Give Pittman left side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and maybe managed to get a yard out of it to the Blue Devil 49, or just across the 50. It'll bring up 3rd down and long for Gavilan.
Of course, let's talk about that a second. Wouldn't most coaches say they could beat somebody again if they played again?
They always see the weaknesses or the strengths of the other team and say they'd make some adjustments. Both teams lost to Modesto. Both teams beat Hartnell. The only real powerhouse that Gavilan played that you could really say is probably San Francisco.
Oh, they're going for #1 in the United States right now.
Gavilan Walwork looking to pass, sacked from behind. Number 40 for the Blue Devils is Alton Johnson. He sacks Walwork for a loss back at his own 45-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and about 12 yards to go. And Gavilan will punt for the first time this afternoon.
Well, you know, I told you about that blowout by Sac City. The Blue Devils had 2 more games left in the season at that point. They could have fallen apart completely. Instead, they tied Taft the very next week, 20-all, and Taft was the powerhouse all year long, and that put them right back in bowl contention. They came back and then beat Santa Rosa 21-7, and they had an invite to play in the Elks Bowl against Gavilan.
Jim Guyona to punt. The left footer gets it away. Nice high punt. And all Derek Clay can let it do is roll on by, and it's going to be touchdown at about the 5-yard line. So the Blue Devils will have it, but they'll have it deep in their own territory at their own 5-yard line. There's 3:25 to go in the first quarter, with Gavilan leading 7-0.
You know, not a bad crowd out here today. We should talk about the crowd because, you know, over the years, the Blue Devils, even though the high school can draw 6,000 to 7,000 fans, the college has never been able to do that. One of the things Tony Lewis is trying to do is instrument bringing in more local ball players. You and I talked about this earlier in the year, and my goodness, they went to 37 ball players out of local schools. That's a nice addition, really is.
And they've had a bigger crowd this year at most games.
Definitely.
1st and 10 Blue Devils now back at their own 5-yard line, finding themselves down 7-0 here in the first quarter. Murdoch gives off to Collins up the middle, and he pushes across the 5 to about the 7 or 8-yard line. Gain of just a couple of yards for Collins. Defense for Gavilan has been a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't expect that Gavilan would be that tough on defense against a fine runner like Odell Collins, but you know, we're early on in the ball game, but so far they've looked impressive on defense.
Well, you know, I think in a way Odell Collins, of course, is dynamic, but we've seen him before slowed in the first half. But like you have mentioned, too, this guy is 240 pounds. He keeps running at your defensive backs, and after a while, they say, I don't want anything to do with that guy.
2nd down and 7. Collins left side of the line again. He manages to about the 10, a couple of yards off left tackle. And it'll bring up a 3rd down, about 5 yards to go for the Merced College Blue Devils at their own 10-yard line.
You know, Murdoch, let's talk about the quarterback for the Blue Devils. The quarterback out there getting right now directions, number 10, is a very fine quarterback, Murdoch. Murdoch is a guy in high school that ran the fly for Merced High School, and you don't pass very much in the fly. And a lot of people felt that he'd have to make the adjustment at college level. He was really confused at the beginning for a couple ball games, wasn't he, Bob, coming in this offense?
Now Johnson in motion out of the backfield. The pitch is to Collins, right side of the line. Trying to get outside, turns it upfield, and manages the first down across the 15-yard line out to about the 16-yard line. First time the Blue Devils have had a first down this afternoon, and it's on their 3rd possession, and it's deep in their own territory, and they can use that kind of breathing room. 16-yard line, a first down on the run by Collins. They'll spot it at the 17.
Bill Perkins is not only the head coach over there at Gavilan College, he's also the athletic director. Really a nice guy to talk to, wonderful man. And I got to talk to him at the breakfast. That's one of the nice things when you talk about the Elks Bowl. They have a big dinner for the coaches and family members the night before. They have the big breakfast for the players and the fans that come on out this morning. They have a tailgate party, and then they have a big banquet after the ball game tonight.
1st and 10 Blue Devils, 17. Murdoch this time to Johnson. Johnson looking for some running room. He's going to be dropped for a loss back around the 10-yard line. Johnson dropped back a little bit, looking for some blocking out in front, and had a defender on him, and he had not much of a chance. Back at the 11 is where they'll spot it. Loss of 6 on the carry. And again, Gavilan's defense has been penetrating and pretty awesome.
Well, let's get real now. You talk about the quarterback for the Blue Devils, not thrown for a lot of yards, right? But I think he's got, what, close to 1,000 yards this year. But in any case, they don't expect him to pass much, so they really key on the defense, on the running part of it.
2nd down and 16 now. The Blue Devils at their own 11-yard line, trying to get untracked. Collins, right side, nothing there. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 16 from the 11-yard line. Left and right tackle is probably not the place to go, I'd say.
You know something about that. Let's talk about Murdoch. The last time that Murdoch was in that situation, Bob, they came pouring through and got him, didn't they?
Yep.
Now, I don't know what adjustments the Blue Devils can make, but obviously it's a passing situation. And unless they give it to Collins on a pitch out or something, or a trick play of some sort, Murdoch is probably going to go to the air. He can throw well.
Well, the blitz buried him last time. He never even had a chance. He didn't even see downfield when they hit him. He's got Jenkins and Stewart wide to the left side. Johnson, Odell Collins are the running backs. 3rd down and 16 from the 11-yard line. Here's Murdoch, pitch back Collins, left side. Tackler there and gets him at the 12-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Jason Hollanda. And Collins goes nowhere on the sweep to the left side. And great penetration again by the defense of Gavilan.
Well,
And at the 7-yard line, I think I said 11-yard line, 7-yard line is where the tackle is made in the backfield. And there's the end of the first quarter. Right before the Blue Devil punt, we'll take a break and come back with the second quarter. You're listening to Elks Bowl 11 on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Back at Stadium 76, the punt by Stenberg goes out of bounds on the far sideline, but there is an infraction on the punt.
The Blue Devils against Gavilan College today, and Gavilan is a force every year in that Coast Conference, as we told you. Bob Wendell, Tony Rossi with you. A beautiful day for football at Stadium 76. We hope that you'll be able to tune into TCI Cable, and that will be on Tuesday night, the 7th, and also Thursday, the 9th. It'll be 7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Punt time for the Blue Devils, 4th and about 15 after that 5-yard infraction. Offsides against Gavilan. High snap, but Stenberg brings it down at the goal line. Gets off a nice high punt, and it sails out of bounds on the far sideline. But it's going to go out of bounds at about, well, let's see where they're going to spot it. At about the Gavilan 45-yard line. Nice punt by Stenberg.
I'll tell you what, Stenberg's got a couple of boomers off, hasn't he, Bob? Back to back.
Really helped out the Blue Devils there because they had it deep in their own territory, and Stenberg manages to give them some room for the defense to make an impact here, because the Blue Devils find themselves down 7-0 as we've started play here in the second quarter.
And Eric Stenberg was a punter for the Merced High Bears this last season. And when you talk about the kicking game, it's local. Ryan Detling is the kicker for the ball club, and the punter, of course, is Stenberg.
Wallwork, 1st and 10, looking to pass. Has time, throws down the right side, has a man there. The tight end turns around and makes the catch at the Blue Devil 36-yard line. And they made it look pretty easy. Jeff Thomas got in between the zone and picks off the pass at the Blue Devil 36-yard line.
You know, some of the other bowl games going on today, Bob, and you talk through the state of California. Fresno City is playing Long Beach. Fresno City 8-2. Long Beach is 9-1. That's in the Producers Bowl game down there. In the Graffiti Bowl, that's just up the road, Modesto Junior College first annual, Butte Orville 8-0-1 versus Modesto 8-2.
1st and 10, Gavilan. Merced 36-yard line as Wallwork gives off to the tailback going the right side. Tries to get outside and maybe got a yard out of it, and that time it was Joe Evans, 5'10", 180-pound running back, into the ball game for the first time this afternoon. Gets a yard. 2nd down and 9 for Gavilan. Merced 35-yard line.
You know, Wallwork, the great quarterback, they have Josh Wallwork, 166 of 275 this year for 2,421 yards. Thrown for 21 touchdowns. He's thrown 11 interceptions.
Wallwork back to pass again. Plenty of time. Has all the time in the world. Now scrambles. Now looks over the middle. Has a man there. Tight end at the 35 and tackled at the 33-yard line. The catch made by Joe Bonera. And the tackle made by Alvin Taylor. A couple of yards on that play. But Wallwork had all the time in the world. And the defense is going to have to do a little bit more if they're going to get some pressure on Wallwork. Third down, but about 8 yards to go now for a first down.
We've been telling you about Gavilan College. How good are they? They are 7-1 in the Coast Conference. They're 11th in the state right now, 5th in Northern California, and nationally ranked too, Bob. I think they're 23.
Wallwork rolling to his right. Plenty of time. Now getting a little bit of pressure. Passes back toward the middle. Has a receiver at the 25-yard line. Breaks a tackle and down to the 20-yard line.
Speaking of rankings, though, when you talk about the Blue Devils, they're ranked 2 in Northern California. Their bowl history. Bob, you and I have been talking about their bowl history. We're checking the record now, 7-2-1.
Brian Wright makes the catch down to the Blue Devil 21-yard line. And it's a first down for Gavilan. Wallwork back to pass. Looking to the middle. Has a man there. Complete at the 10. Inside the 10 and then pushed back. Brian Wright again finding some open territory. And I don't know if the Blue Devils are playing a zone that Wallwork is just picking apart, but they're going to have to play those receivers a little bit closer, or Wallwork's going to pick them apart all afternoon, because they're finding the open spot, and Wallwork's hitting it with precision here in the first half.
I'll tell you what, this guy's on a mission, Wallwork. He did not like getting beat up in that Producers Bowl game last year to Fresno City, and he said, we don't lose 2 years in a row, and he's really fired up, and they already lead this ball game 7-0.
First and goal at the 10-yard line. Pittman up the middle, finds a little bit of a hole, squeezes inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line.
You know, Stacy Pittman, we've been calling his name all afternoon. 132 attempts this year for 767 yards. He's a bull. I'm trying to think of, is it Bettis that I'm thinking of, the power back? And that's what he looks like to me. Average 5.8 per carry, and he's got 7 touchdowns.
Second down and goal from the 7. Wallwork looking to pass. Looks for the right corner of the end zone. A man there, and it's complete. Touchdown, Gavilan.
Just like that, they scored 2 touchdowns against the Blue Devils, and they make it look easy with a passing attack, don't they, Bob? Real easy.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's Guthmiller that makes the catch, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And things don't look good for Merced College right now.
No, they sure don't.
Juan Rios comes in to attempt the extra point.
Rios, by the way, is a good kicker for extra points in that. Doesn't have the real long range in field goals.
Low snap, but they get it spotted, and the kick is up and good. 12-12 to go, first half. It's Gavilan 14 and Merced nothing. We'll be back to Elks Bowl 11 in just a minute. You're listening to the Elks Bowl on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Back at Stadium 76, Bob Wendell, Tony Rossi. And there's the Blue Devil.
We're doing a TCI cable playback, and I'll tell you what, we got that Blue Devil over there that he's making fun out there and having a lot of fun. He's looking there, he looks right at the camera.
Well, I hope he inspires the Blue Devil offense, because they need to come back here down 14-0 as Rios kicks it high and short. Down underneath it at about the 20-yard line is Clay coming to the near sideline across the 30. Spins out of a tackle and is gang tackled at about the 35-yard line.
You know, you look at Perkins, what an outstanding coach he is, Bob. The guy has lost very few games since he's come over to coach this ball club. And, hey, when you're in a bowl game 6 out of the last 7 years, you better be a good coach, and that's what Perkins is.
14-0, Gavilan out in front of the Blue Devils. Merced on our left and Gavilan on our right. Backs out of the eye, wide receivers left and right on a 1st and 10 from the 35. It's Collins, left tackle, and nothing there. And
now the
they
penalty
say
flag.
well, they say that there's a fumble, and Gavilan has it back. Collins hit the pile, and he fumbled the football, and Gavilan has it at the Blue Devil 35-yard line.
Boy, another bad break for the Blue Devils. Things are not going right for the Blue Devils today. You talk about 14-zip. We're in the second period, and Gavilan's got the opportunity to score. They're in Blue Devil territory once again.
So Gavilan just inside the Blue Devil 35-yard line, up 14-0. Will have the ball after the fumble. And great field position to add on more.
They've been able to run some playbacks for us too, Bob, as we look at the monitor. That's pretty neat that they're able to do that and find out for sure who got the fumble recovery.
And now there's contact along the line of scrimmage before the snap. And Eddie Davis says that he was pulled off. We'll see what the officials think.
Well, Gavilan is moving backwards, so I assume that's the case.
Eddie's right. Illegal procedure. Back Gavilan up 5 yards, back to just inside the 40-yard line now.
Hey, what about that high school game played on this very same field last night? These guys worked till late in the morning to get the Elks insignia in the middle of the field put on there, Bob. That takes an awful lot of work because Merced High was out here last night, and they defeated St. Mary's 35-7.
Ball work. Looking to pass. Coming out of the pocket. The ball is hit and almost intercepted at the 35-yard line. But the ball hits off the helmet of the defender for the Blue Devils, Tom Molman, who didn't see it. Ball work was hit, from behind. The ball kind of popped up about 7 or 8 yards downfield, and Molman, the linebacker, was coming up on the play, hit right off his helmet. He didn't even see the ball coming.
No, you know, and the coaches to our left, you know, for the Blue Devils, they're up here in the booth yelling and screaming. They did not want him to come to the Christmas party after that.
I think they said something about get your head into the plate.
Yeah, right? Oh, no.
He did.
Oh, no. What a pun.
Second down at about 15. Here's Walwork back to pass. Looking down the middle, has a man there. 10-5, touchdown. Guthmiller, third touchdown pass of the afternoon. And he was wide open at about the 15-yard line and made the catch and went in untouched. And it's another touchdown for Gavilan. They lead 20-0 with 11:46 to go here in the first half. Guthmiller, they got to put somebody on that guy.
We got to show a replay in a few minutes. Terrence Williams was the guy, the wide receiver, 6'2", 185 on the receiving end of that one.
Oh, it wasn't Guthmiller?
There, take a look.
Here's Juan Rios in to attempt the extra point. High snap, but the spot is down. It's blocked. And Wally Waller makes the block. The Blue Devils pick it up, but they're tackled on the attempted return. Wally Waller has blocked 5 kicks this year, and he just did his 6th. So the extra point attempt is no good. The score remains 20-0 in favor of Gavilan, and we'll be back in just a minute on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Bob Wendell, Tony Rossi at Stadium 76, set for the kickoff for Gavilan to the Merced College Blue Devils as Gavilan finds themselves up 20-0 here in Elks Bowl 11 in the first half, but there's a lot of time left. 11:46 to go in the first half. The Blue Devils offense has really been struggling.
Well,
Here's
we checked.
the kickoff. Line drive, short kick, and it'll come out of bounds on the near sideline at about the 27-yard line and come out to the 35-yard line, and the Blue Devils, no attempt at a run back, will take over at their own 35-yard line. You know, in some respects, that gives that's a lot of respect to the defense of Gavilan College to give the ball, and they're really trying to kick it out of bounds, I think. I mean, they're really not trying to kick it deep, and maybe they can't kick it deep, so they kick it out of bounds. I'm not sure what it is, but they really have a lot of confidence in their defense to give the ball to the offense every time on the 35-yard line, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we checked for you fans to make sure it was Guthmiller, and gee, Guthmiller's been on the receiving end of 3 touchdown passes this afternoon already.
Well, he sure knows how to get open, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
First and 10, Blue Devils, their own 35. Murdoch to pass, left side, has a man there, diving catch at the 39-yard line. Gain of about 4. Demetrius Stewart on the end of that one, and it's a gain of 4. Second down and 6 coming up.
Boy, the Blue Devils got to do something here, Bob. You're trailing 20-0. I guess maybe the most exciting thing in the game was blocking the extra point.
So far for Merced, that's been it. They had a first down once, and that's been it.
Now let's see if Murdoch, the quarterback, number 10, can get them going.
Second down and 6 from the 39. It's Odell Collins hit behind the line of scrimmage. Tries to, well, he does manage to get out of an ankle tackle, but then is tackled at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple of yards. Great penetration again by the Gavilan defense. The offensive line for Merced College has just not been able to keep the defense out of the backfield.
Tony Rossi, Bob Wendell with you. And Bob, I can't believe it. Is this the 11th Elks Bowl game? Is that correct?
Yes, Elks Bowl 11. We've done every one of them, haven't we?
Every single one of them. And TCI Cable has been with us the last couple of years. And again, we would like to remind you that it will be on TCI Cable. It will be on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. So tune in.
Out of the I formation this time, Murdoch to pass. Scrambling out of the pocket, rolling to the right, looking downfield. Has a man there, complete at the 43. And that is Vanderwerk, but Vanderwerk is short of the first down. He needed to get out to the 45-yard line, came back toward Murdoch, but now we've got a personal foul roughing the passer, and that'll go against Gavilan, and it's the first big break of the afternoon for Merced College.
Yeah, that hit came late after he threw the ball, and the referee was standing right there when he took the hit. Murdoch's a tough quarterback, though, Bob. You know, he hasn't been knocked out of any games that I can recall out of Merced High School.
Well, a personal foul for roughing the passer gives Merced College a first down at the Gavilan 42. And needless to say, this is their deepest penetration of the afternoon, having struggled offensively all through the first half.
Well, the Blue Devils use Jason Murdoch as a quarterback. He's 6'3", 205, and he's been a good one, no question about that. And, of course, we know the great running back over here, too, Collins.
First and 10 at the Gavilan 42. Play action. Here's Murdoch to pass. Looks down the middle. Has a man there. It's over his head at the 15-yard line, but a flag is down in the backfield. And that one's thrown where normally you see holding.
Yeah, Gavilan's excited, of course, as you can see them pointing the other way.
It's holding against Merced. So this will push the Blue Devils back into their own territory, and it'll still be first down, but now 20 yards to go for a first down.
You know, Bob, one of the things about that offense this year, the wide receiver Demetrius Stewart, 6'3", 218. Alex Vega, left tackle, get this, 6'8", 340 pounds. The left guard, another small guy, Albert Walker, 6 foot tall, 350 pounds. The center is Adam Brownson, just a little guy, 6 foot tall, 250. The right guard is Taiwan Hemmons, 6'2", 265. The right tackle, Bo Dietrich, 6'4", 280. The tight end, Dwayne Vanderwerk, 6'2", 230. They got some big guys out there blocking for Murdoch and company.
First and 20. Corey Johnson in motion out of the backfield. He looks for him, and it's almost intercepted and incomplete. One of the defenders, T.D. King for Gavilan, came up and got between Johnson and Murdoch. Murdoch tried to get it to Corey Johnson, a little bit of a kind of a screen thing over the middle, and King got his arm up on it, knocked it down incomplete, so it'll bring up second down and 20.
Let's talk about the fullback, Corey Johnson. This guy's turned out some yardage this year in a situation where he's not used a lot, but he's had a couple 100-yard ball games, Bob.
10 minutes to go in the first half. 20-0, Gavilan on top. Split backs behind Murdoch this time on second down and 20. Wide receivers left and right. Murdoch straight back to pass in the pocket. He's scrambling. Now he throws toward the middle. Has a man there. It's incomplete at the Gavilan 35-yard line. Intended for the wide receiver, Dwayne Jenkins. But it was well out in front of him, and he was wide open, Tony.
Well, he sure was, but the pass just was too high. Couldn't get to it. Gavilan leading, if you just joined us, 20-0, and 9:55 remaining in the first half. Beautiful day at Merced College. Nice to have the fans tune in to TCI Cable to watch this one, too.
Murdoch brings him up to the line of scrimmage. This time he's got Johnson, the up back, and Collins, the tailback, out of the eye. Play action. This time he flips it over to Johnson in the backfield across the 50, 45, 40, and with a guy on his back, he goes down at the Gavilan 38-yard line, far short of a first down. But still a nice run by Corey Johnson, and gets the Blue Devils some room.
I'll tell you what.
Think about whether they're going to go for it on fourth down or not.
The coach from Gavilan really respects Corey Johnson. I mean, when you mention him in the same breath as Collins, isn't that a compliment, Bob? They like Corey Johnson, a tough running back.
It's a 4th and 6 at the Gavilan 37-yard line, and the Blue Devils decide to do the punt. So Stenberg comes into the ball game. Now I'll tell you, Gavilan had this similar situation earlier and went for it. They didn't even hesitate. They went for it on fourth down in this kind of a situation. But the Blue Devils elect otherwise. They try to draw Gavilan offside, so they don't get it. And now we're probably going to have too much time against Merced. Here's the indication. Too much time. Merced cost them 5 yards. Back out to the 42-yard line. And it's definitely a punt situation now. They sent the offense out there to try to draw them off sides, but
I'll tell you one thing that you can compliment this ball game is Stenberg, the punter. He's had some fine punts this afternoon. Nice high boomers.
And here he gets a high short one. Fair catch called for at the 20 by Gavilan, and the catch is made.
I had the feeling he almost wanted to place that one, Bob. Did you get that feeling too?
Yeah, he was trying to get it inside the 20. He didn't want to boot it with all he had for fear of going to the end zone, but the result would have been the same because the catch was made at the 20-yard line. So Gavilan will take over there with 8:33 to go here in the first half. And
so
Gavilan
far
up by 20.
So far, that pass defense of the Blue Devils has been a sieve, hasn't it, Bob? You scored 3 touchdowns against the pass defense. You're waiting back there saying, wait a minute, intercept, knock it down, do something, guys. But you're trailing 21 or make it 20-0.
Here's Walworth, gives to Pittman, and not much there. Stopped in the backfield. He'll be dropped for a loss of a yard. Wally Waller in there for the Blue Devils. Also Ricky Smith. It'll be a loss of a yard back to the 19-yard line. Second down and 11 now for Gavilan.
You know, Pittman, I told you, went over 700 yards on the ground. He also had 75 yards receiving for a total of 842 yards this year, 7 touchdowns.
Walwork on a bootleg, and he's going to be sacked. And he got his face mask, but the sack is made back at the 10-yard line. But Alton Johnson, I think, got Walwork's face mask. Maybe an incidental. If the Blue Devils are lucky, it'll be an incidental. But the sack was made back around the 10-yard line. See what we got. Face mask against Johnson. And the ball will come back out to the 19-yard line. And it'll be a 5-yard infraction. Come out to the 24-yard line. And they'll replay the down. So now it's 2nd down and 6, or about 5 or 6 yards to go at the 24-yard line. Let's call it 6 yards to go. 2 wide to the left side this time, 1 wide to the right. And as it has been all afternoon, Stacy Pittman is the lone running back. Walwork gives it off to Pittman on a draw across the 30, fumbles the football. The Blue Devils pick it up at the 29-yard line. Pittman had the first down as he went across the 30. He was hit and fumbled, and the Blue Devils pick it up at the 29-yard line. Was it Taylor that got it?
Number 47.
That's it.
So Taylor picks that one up, and the Blue Devils get some life here after trailing 20-0. 7:45 remaining in the first half, and the recovery by Merced College.
Plenty of time on the clock here in the first half for the Blue Devils to climb back into this one. 7:45 to go, and they're down by 20-0. So Merced's offense needs to take advantage here. Jenkins and Stewart come out wide to the near side. Split backs, Johnson and Collins behind Murdoch on first down. Johnson in motion to the far side. Pitch back Collins, and he's going to be buried back at the 35-yard line. A loss of about 6 yards. And again, the penetration by the Gavilan defense is like they're playing against a high school team, Tony. Every down, they're just keying on Collins, and they bury him in the backfield. He's never had a chance.
Well, Perkins was worried about him, the head coach for Gavilan, but they're doing a very good job defensively to stop him, and they've been after Corey Johnson, too. So that running attack's been pretty shut down. You got to figure another way to get through Gavilan College.
2nd down and 16 now. Merced with the ball at the Gavilan 35-yard line. And if the offensive line can't do a little better than this, it's going to be a long afternoon for Merced. Here is Murdoch back to pass. Looks over the right side, has a man out there. The ball is tipped and incomplete at the 15-yard line. Had a receiver open back toward the middle, but he went instead for Jenkins, who had 2 guys on him. And it goes incomplete.
You know, Bob, one of the things, no matter what, today, Saturday's game with the most points, the real winners is the Elks Bowl 11 game will be the handicapped children of the Elks charities. The game has raised nearly $80,000 since the bowl inception in '83. And the major projects has sent physical therapists into the field, said the game chairman, Dave Pacheco. And, you know, the Sun Star's been helping them as much as we try to do, and I hope they raise a lot of money today and with the activities they've done all through the year.
On 3rd down, Murdoch to pass, coming out of the pocket, struggling out of the pocket, throws it up and has a man there, and the catch is made at the Gavilan 16-yard line. Vanderwerk makes the catch.
Boy, I never seen anything like that. If we can get a replay on that. He was waiting on the sideline, standing there, hoping he'd throw the ball right where he was waiting because he knew he'd step out of bounds. The ball went to him, and then he stepped out of bounds.
Nice play by Dwayne Vanderwerk.
But what a nice catch over there.
They'll spot it at the 17-yard line. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. This time Collins up the middle inside the 15, and he's down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 3 for Odell Collins. Except for the 1 run he got for a first down, Collins I don't think has had more than 3 yards on a carry.
TCI Cable is giving us replays, Bob, too, this year. I didn't mean to tell you that, but I think that's exciting, right, huh? What about it?
Well, I don't think we've had that before, have we?
No. They just getting better and better every year. What can we say about TCI Cable, huh?
2nd down and 7 from the 14-yard line. This time Collins, right side of the line, and he pushes down to about the 10-yard line. Again, about a, 3 or 4 yard gain. Just outside the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 3 yards to go for a first down. They need to get to the 7-yard line. The ball's just outside the 10.
You know, when you think about being discouraged, though. The Blue Devils are down 20-0, but certainly not like the ball club from Gavilan, who trailed Modesto at the half 30-7. They had to come back at Modesto.
Collins, right side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Maybe got to the 10.
Boy, they seem to read those plays, don't they, Bob?
Well, they're just keying on Collins, and the Blue Devils have got to do something besides put it up the middle with Collins. But even when they've pitched it outside to them, the penetration, there's been no blocking there for him. So it's 4th down, and here comes Detling onto the field. Field goal attempt.
Ryan Detling, of course, out of Merced High School, outstanding kicker. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to K Fiesta 106.3 FM. We'll be right back.
So the Blue Devils want to get some points on the board. They don't want to be a completely unproductive first half. And they don't want to chance it so far. And that's probably a wise call, because so far, offensively, the Blue Devils have not been able to manage much. And 3 yards looks pretty big right now. So Detling on for a 27-yard field goal attempt, almost straight on. Snap. And Abramson keeps the football. He's going to pass, and a diving catch, incomplete. Intended for Amos Conley, and that was a design play. Detling was never going to kick it.
You know, you almost got the feeling, and I think Gavilan had the feeling it wasn't going to be a kick either.
Yeah, I think Gavilan sniffed that one out, and Conley really wasn't open. Abramson tried to get it to him, but Conley made a dive inside the 5, but could not come up with it. It's an incomplete pass, and Gavilan gets the ball at the 10-yard line.
Merced College trailing 20-0 if you just joined it. 5:02 to go here in the second period, and the Blue Devils have an opportunity to score. They don't go for the field goal. They go for a trick play in hopes they can get 7 points. Instead, they come up with no points.
Here's Walwork looking to pass. Pump fakes once over the middle. Has a man there. Looks like Guthmiller. He's got it across the, well, he's out at the 40-yard line. They've got to put a guy on him, Tony. I think there's absolutely got to be somebody that plays him man for man. And he's buried him in the first half. He's had 3 touchdown passes, and now he gets a 30-yard pass play from the 10 out to the 40-yard line. He has made the Blue Devils defense look like a sieve.
You know what we ought to do is put a camera on Guthmiller, just for curiosity here. Here he goes again.
Work again. Plenty of time. Has his tight end there. Complete at the 45. Breaks a tackle. 50. Inside Blue Devil territory at the 43-yard line. And the big tight end, Jeff Thomas, gets another first down for Gavilan. They make it look so easy. Walwork has tremendous time back there. The offensive line has given him all the protection in the world. And you give a good quarterback time, they're going to find somebody open.
You know, again, I was hearing the Blue Devils coaches in the other booth. I think there were some more people being invited to the party. The coach was yelling out to more people out there.
I think they heard him from here, too. Here's Walwork on a quarterback draw. Inside the 40, has some running room. At the 30, a flag is down. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Walwork, quarterback draw.
I believe there was a clip by Gavilan. Let's see what they call it. It was a side clip. Let's see what they're doing here. It was near the sidelines. Now, they call it an illegal procedure. But over about the 24-yard line, and I saw it. I don't know if the referee's in position for that, but the Blue Devils got hit from behind.
Well, it'll be a 5-yard penalty, illegal procedure against Gavilan. So this run by Walwork will come back. Nice run by the quarterback. He's agile as well as able to pass. I'm sure a 4-year college is here looking at him this afternoon, don't you think?
Oh, what a fine quarterback he is, Walwork.
So instead of a touchdown, Gavilan has moved 5 yards further back out to the Blue Devil 47-yard line with 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Gavilan leading 20-0. So Walwork brings him up to the line of scrimmage, has 2 wide to the right side this time, 1 to the left, and 1 lone setback. Looks like snap. This time a give to the wide receiver. Sweep to the right side. Has some blockers out in front. Tackle made at the 40, but a flag is down. That time it was Malik Monroe, the wide receiver, who had wind up slotted to the left side. Took the snap from Walwork. Handoff, went wide to the right side on the sweep. Turned it upfield.
You know, that passing game has been really dynamic this year for Gavilan. Passing game has netted 2,692 yards this year, 25 touchdowns, while the running game has contributed 2,098 yards and 22 scores. Hey, they've had a little balance in there, Bob, huh?
Well, they have.
And that power running back they've got is just a very fine runner.
Well, this is an illegal block against Gavilan. Back them up instead of a 7 or 8 yard gain. Got a 10-yard penalty against Gavilan. What were they going to spot it here? Well, they're going to put it all the way back to the 37-yard line. A 15-yard penalty for blocking below the waist or an illegal block, one or the other.
You got to like the running back Pittman, who I'm telling you about, that power running back. Gee, he just seems to run over everybody when he runs over everybody when he gets the ball.
Well, he's in there now, Stacy Pittman. 5'11", 233 pounds. And again, there's a flag. And for the Blue Devils, Eddie Davis says he was drawn off by the tight end Thomas. But
and they get the call, too. They get the call. Davis is saying, hey, wait a minute, he drew me off. You know what they do, Bob, and you probably see it. If there's any motion at all, you hustle in, right? You try to get the guy off guard and then tell the referee, hey.
Well, you want to make contact. That's
right.
Before the snap, you want to make contact. And the officials agree with Eddie Davis because they backed Gavilan up 5 more yards.
I'm glad to see Tony Lewis came back after 2, 3, and 7 seasons back-to-back. Got to be discouraging for the Blue Devil supporters, and to come out here this year and play a tremendous schedule, come out 6-3-1. Hey, that's all right.
Yeah, they really did play a rugged schedule, didn't they?
Well,
so the ball comes down to the about the 33-yard line, and it's still first down for Gavilan. They need to get all the way to the Blue Devil 32 to get a first down, so they're a long way away. But it's only first down for Gavilan, and the way they've been playing on offense, it may be okay. Walwork with Pittman, the lone setback. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Wide receivers. The one in right comes in motion to the near side, and Walwork's going to keep it, and he fumbles the football. The Blue Devils pick it up at the 30-yard line. Walwork was hit from behind, or from the side, and got nailed pretty good. The ball popped out, and I think it was Eddie Davis that picked up the fumble, and the Blue Devils will have it at the Gavilan 30-yard line. Now, this is where they had it a few minutes ago, and could not capitalize. Ended up stalling on the drive down at the 10-yard line. Now they've got it 1st and 10 at the Gavilan 30 again. 2:58 to play here in the first half, and they're down 20-0. So the Blue Devils defense is finally rallying around, but now the offense has got to contribute.
They've got to score here. Last time they had the opportunity. It looked like they were going to go for a field goal, try to trick play. Didn't get any points, and they trailed 20-0. Let's see what they can do now.
Split backs behind Collins, or rather the Murdoch. The pitch is to Johnson, and Johnson goes to the left side, turns it upfield, ankled at the line of scrimmage, but falls away from that tackler and manages a couple of yards down to the Gavilan 27.
You know, if we can get a replay on that one, on the running back, I don't think he had possession of that ball. I thought he was going to lose it.
Second down, about 7 yards to go, coming up for the Blue Devils at the 27 or so of Gavilan.
Didn't have it effectively, but in any case, he almost lost the handle on it.
Here's Johnson. Inside handoff. He's down inside the 30, and there's a fumble on the play. And let's see who's got it. They're still waving their arms out there, but I think Gavilan has the football.
I thought he was just trying to shoo flies down there, the referee, the way he's been waving the arms. Did he finally come up with anything?
Well, they never did indicate it was Gavilan's ball, but I think that's the result. Johnson fumbles. Gavilan gets the ball back at their own 30-yard line.
What about that, guys? We got a replay on that one? No.
2:14 to go, first half. Gavilan 20. Merced nothing, and Stacy Pittman now lines up as a wide receiver on the near side. 3 to the left and 2 to the right, and no running backs. Here's Walwork back to pass. Over the middle has Guthmiller. Who else? The 35, 37, and pushed out of bounds there. And of a gain about 7 yards. As Clay finally pushes Guthmiller out of bounds at the 37, a 7-yard pickup. And no running backs in there, and Walwork still manages to make it work for Gavilan.
Well, they like to use the one-back offense, Bob. I get a kick out of your son. He's been doing some stats for us, and he said, who are the running backs?
Here is Walwork to pass again. Over the right side, has a man there, complete at the 40-yard line, and down immediately is, I guess it's Alkire. That's how you say his name.
Alkire, yeah.
Alkire. Steve Alkire. He fell as he made the catch at the 40-yard line. And
he probably heard footsteps. You just see him turn around like somebody's going to hit him, and nobody was there, right?
He kind of went over his own shoelaces or something, the way he kind of fell down. But
they got to measure this
first down. Yeah, they'll measure this one.
I don't think the clock is right, because last night we had the same problem. When there's 3 minutes to go, it goes to 9. And they show 9 minutes and 1 second up there, and I don't think that's correct, right, Bob?
No, I don't think so either. There's a couple of extra lights, they said last night at the ball game. But now it's showing 2:57 as Walworth goes back to pass. Has a man out there over the left side. It's complete to Thomas. The tight end breaks a tackle at the 40, the 30, and undercut and down at the 29-yard line of Merced. But Thomas, big yardage all the way down to the Blue Devil 29-yard line before Clay can make the tackle.
Boy, Clay undercut him pretty good there, too. Derrick Clay, 5'9", 155.
But again, Walworth is tearing him apart in the secondary, isn't he?
Oh, gee, what a quarterback he is. A great quarterback.
Great vision downfield. It's a 1st and 10. Like I said a little while ago, first and a long way to go.
Yeah, you better believe it.
First and a long way to go for this team doesn't seem to mean much. Here's the pitch to Pittman. And Pittman's inside the 30 and down at the 28-yard line. A gain of about a yard or two for Pittman. Tailback.
Well, Walworth is a 60.4 passer, Bob, just to show you that how good he really is. Looks like we got an injury. Don't know if they'll take him out or what. I guess he's going to get right back up for the Blue Devils. Say, I'm tough. I'll just get some more teeth after the game, right?
And order those in the mail, can't you? 2nd down and 8 as Walworth goes back to pass, and a draw play gives to Pittman. Pittman to the 25-yard line, a gain of about 3. Wally Waller makes the tackle for the Blue Devils, the all-time leading tackler in Merced College history, they think. 116 tackles in the regular season.
And Waller is a guy that played earlier this season. What did he get, the shingles? I think it was the shingles disease. And he lost a lot of weight. He lost something like 15, 20 pounds and came back to continue to play right in the middle of the season. What a ball player he is.
3rd and about 5. Walworth to pass. Has all the time in the world again. Again, a guy open. Complete at the 5. Struggles inside the 5 and down at the 3-yard line. I think it was Wright that time making the catch for Gavilan.
You know, Wright was the guy that flew the first aircraft. Is that right? Right?
Now, this was Brian here.
Oh, but in any case.
that was some ancestors of his. I think it was Orville.
You know what? The Blue Devils defense looks today. Remember, who was the guy that first threw their forward pass? That's what it looks like, the Blue Devil defense, right? Hey, there's a pass out there. What is that? They're throwing the pass.
Down at the 3-yard line. It's 1st and goal to go for Gavilan.
I don't know what's happened to Blue Devils secondary, but I'll tell you what, they're being picked apart this afternoon.
1:18 to go here in the first half, and Gavilan 1st and goal at the 3. Tailback, pushed back, snap. Maybe got a half a yard to the 2.5, and that's about it.
Let's see, what number was that on the run there, Bob?
Snap, David Snap, number 34.
You know what? For a second there, I flashed back to Merced College having those uniforms. I thought, hey, Corey Johnson's going to score. Unfortunately, it's the wrong blue jerseys. 20-0.
48 seconds to go, and the clock is running. 2nd and goal from the 2.5-yard line. This time again, it's Snap, and Snap goes up the middle, and no indication yet. I think they're going to say he got stopped short, just outside the goal line.
Well, let's see. Snap, Bob, has carried the ball 100 and he's averaging 4.8. He's had 28 attempts, netted 135 yards this year. That's all. So he hasn't played a lot.
It'll be 3rd and goal with 25 seconds to go, and Gavilan calls timeout. We'll take a break. You're listening to Elks Bowl 11 on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Back at Stadium 76, 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Walworth and a quarterback keeper. Touchdown, Gavilan.
Well, how about that, sports fans? And you look up at the scoreboard now, it's 26-0. That's kind of hard to take if you're a Blue Devils supporter, and they do it with 22 seconds left in the first half.
Well, Walworth just got up behind his center and pushed it across the goal line.
You know what I think that was, though, Bob? Walworth told Gutzmiller in the huddle, he said, look, my mama's been going to watch this game on television and all this sort of thing. I have to score one.
Juan Rios in to attempt the extra point. It's a dribble of a punt, or rather of a snap, and it's a botched attempt, to say the least, as Juan Rios came up to try to kick it, and the ball Kind of popped around out there, and everybody falls on it at about the 10-yard line, and it's no good. 22 seconds to go in the first half. It's now Gavilan 26 and Merced nothing. And we'll be back in just a minute on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Bob Wendell, Tony Rossi back at Stadium 76. 22 seconds to go in the first half, and Gavilan leading by a score of 26-0 after that 1-yard quarterback sneak by Josh Walwork. And the Blue Devils really down 26-0. Got a long way to come back in the second half. Juan Rios tees it up at the 35-yard line for Gavilan. Taylor, Clay back deep for the Blue Devils, standing at about their own 15-yard line. Rios has not kicked one deep yet today. I doubt he will here. I don't think they're going to let the Blue Devils have a chance at running it back.
We're going to be able to talk to the superintendent president of Merced College at halftime, Jan Mosier.
Well, there's a squib kick taken by, I think it's Conley. It is Amos Conley at the 35, and he's out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And there's 17 seconds left on the clock, and the offense for Merced College comes onto the field for probably the last snap of the first half.
Don't get that confused with the running back from Gavilan either, right? Snap.
That's true.
Snap, snap.
Well, Guthmiller has caught 3 passes for touchdowns for Gavilan in the first half, and Walwork has run for another. And Gavilan's up 26-0 with 17 seconds to go here in the first half as Murdoch brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Play action, looking to pass, scrambling out of the pocket, going to the left. He's going to tuck it and run inside the Gavilan 40, 35, and hit from behind. Stays on his feet at the 25, the 20, inside the 15 to the 10, and the clock stops with 2 seconds to go as the Blue Devils are down inside the Gavilan 10-yard line on a tremendous run by Jason Murdoch.
You know, Murdoch doesn't do that, does he, Bob? He's not a running quarterback.
Not a running quarterback, but that time he found plenty of running room. Gets it all the way down to the Gavilan 10-yard line. So now with a timeout, the question is, will the Blue Devils go for it with 2 seconds left, or will they go for the 3 points? Now, earlier, the Blue Devils had it on a 4th down and 3 at the 10-yard line. They lined up for the field goal by Detling. Abramson, the holder, took the snap and looked to pass for the first down and couldn't get it. Had an incomplete pass, but now Detling is on to attempt a field goal.
You know, Jason Murdoch on that run, now, to show you how good a running back he is, his average is minus 4.2. He actually had minus 181 yards coming into this ball game. So you know darn well Murdoch does not run with the ball.
Well, he ran for about 45 yards on that last carry. So Detling comes on to attempt the field goal of about 27 yards from the near hash mark. Snap, spot, kick is up, and of course it's 10 miles long enough, and Detling is perfect on the kick. 27-yard field goal as the horn sounds, and the Blue Devils do get onto the scoreboard with 3 points late here in the first half. 27-yard field goal, and the score at halftime is Gavilan 26 and Merced College 3. Bob Wendell for Tony Rossi, inviting you to stay tuned for the halftime show coming up in just a minute right here on K Fiesta 106.3 FM.
area clear for the camera.
We're going to start the raffle here. We're still finishing up the field goal kicking contest. First one we're giving away is a t-shirt, Elks Bowl t-shirt. Pat Briggs. You out there, Pat? Next one's a turkey donated by Sal Sanchez. All these gifts can be picked. A turkey. There we go. All the gifts can be picked up at the Elks Lodge.
I hope all of his friends see that.
C. Hamill. Merced, 3347. A gift pack by Joe's Barbershop next. Becky Bigart, she's standing right down here. Five-gallon beverage cooler. So anybody else? Jim Payton, Merced Elks Lodge. T-shirt donated by City of Merced. Diane Franco, 3747. Cup and keychain donated by the City of Merced. Head sales, 1687. Four $5 gift certificates donated by Western Motors. Ray Larson, Chowchilla, 1755. $25 gift certificate donated by M&B Supply, 4050. Well, I got JIMN, whoever you are, UA. $25 gift certificate by Growing Concern Floral. Margaret Mill, 6251 Merced. Anybody wants to go to Monterey? $25 gift certificate from Waterside Restaurant in Monterey.
Levi's shirt, donated by John and Lee Ellington.
Hi, Mayor.
A little hard to read. The ticket number is 2790. We have a beverage cooler donated by Merced Elks Lodge. Margaret Trainer, 3087. Margie Trainer.
I'm not doing it right now. Give me two blocks down. This is going to get you up to
We have another turkey, 3 turkeys given away. By Donald Sanchez, 3676. Eugene Ford. Gilroy, California. See me, you can pick it up. I'll make them Gilroy as I want it. See you on their way. Biggie is a big, she won the getaway. This is a t-shirt by Biggie or wins the getaway. She wants to donate it back. Thanks, Biggie. T-shirt again. Marcy Langston, 3038. Christmas basket decorations donated by the Picket Fence. Bob Levacy, 3985. $25 gift certificate donated by M&B Supply. Judy Doyle, 2839. T-shirt by the Elks Bowl Committee.
Here's the kickoff. Second half of Elks Bowl 11 is underway as Monroe takes it inside the 10, behind some blockers out across the 25, and the Blue Devils gather him inside the 30-yard line, and down at the 27-yard line goes Monroe. And Gavilan will have the ball first here in the second half of Elks Bowl 11, leading 26-3 at halftime. And the Rams of Gavilan College have really torn apart the secondary of the defensive unit of Merced College. Let's see what they can do in the second half. Let's see if Merced has made adjustments.
I'll tell you what, Guthmiller himself, the great receiver, has just torn him apart. Bob, he is just something else. And the quarterback, Walwork, who we've talked about, is just doing a good job there.
Walwork up to the line of scrimmage, straight back to pass. He looks over the middle, has a man there, complete to Wright, the wide receiver on a screen across the 30 out to the 34-yard line, and on first down, Gavilan manages about 6 or 7 yards.
Okay, now everybody raise their hands when I ask this question. If you yes, okay. Who is the leading receiver for Gavilan College during the year?
Maybe Guthmiller.
Guthmiller is the guy. 943 yards this year, not bad. 138 yards return yards. How about that guy? For a total of 1,080 yards on the season. He scored 7 touchdowns on the year. Guthmiller's a pretty good receiver.
Give to Pittman, the tailback. He struggles across the 40 and gets a Gavilan first down out to the 42-yard line.
Can you imagine with radio? I always picture this, though, Bob. Okay, now what's the score? Now raise your hand. Can you imagine people in the room all of a sudden raising their hand to a radio announcer? I've got the answer. I got it.
26-3 as we've started play here in the second half. Gavilan over Merced in Elks Bowl 11. Gavilan with the ball at their own 42-yard line, first and 10 after that run by Pittman got them the first down. Ball work, back to pass, sets up in the pocket, down the middle, has a man there. Thomas, the tight end, complete at the 30, grab from behind, and he's going to stay on his feet and manage all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Gavilan. Thomas was grabbed at about the 15-yard line. Guys on him at the 10-yard line. Several guys on him at the 5-yard line. Kept pumping, and he goes all the way in.
You know, you think they make adjustments at halftime. Here's your chance to see what you adjusted to. You come out, Gavilan has the ball. You say, now we got that defense all set to handle a passing attack. And, Bob, they did it again. Gavilan went right down the field again.
All work to the big tight end, Jeff Thomas. He's 6'2", 235 pounds. And he made it look pretty easy. And again, Wallwork precision passing. Put it right on the money to Wallwork, who found a seam in the defense. And it's a 58-yard pass play. Wallwork to Thomas. And now Gavilan will go for a 2-point conversion, leading 32-3. Here's Wallwork, play action, rolling to his right, looks in the end zone, man there, 2-point conversion. That's Guthmiller. So the score now is
it was
Gavilan.
Guthmiller, really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
No.
Isn't that surprising? The guy's got 3 touchdowns. Now he gets 2 extra points. How about that?
34-3. Gavilan leads. We'll be back for the kickoff in just a minute on K Fiesta 106.3 FM.
Oh, boy.
And here's the kickoff. Juan Rios kicks it high and short. And coming down inside the 20, and Derek Clay watches it go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And again, the Blue Devils will get it out at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, and that was the pattern in the first half. When Gavilan scored, the kickoff went out of bounds, and Merced would get it at the 35-yard line.
You know, we were talking about that Jason Wallwork guy, the quarterback for them. I'll tell you, Bob, 21 touchdowns coming on in, but boy, has he been dynamite today with the pass, hasn't he?
Well, I guess so. 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Guthmiller, 1 to Thomas, and Gavilan leads 34-3. With a lot of time left here in the second half, we just started play here in the third quarter. Blue Devils get the ball out at their own 35-yard line as the kickoff went out of bounds. Murdoch turns around, gives off to Collins, left side of the line, nothing there. Well, it didn't work in the first half. You wouldn't expect it to work in the second half, would you? I mean, you would think the offense might make some sort of adjustment in the second half, but not evident on that first play anyway, as Amos Conley comes into the ball game now. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Merced at their own 35. Collins had 5 yards in the first half.
Oh, my goodness, 5 yards. And here's a guy that gained over 1,600 yards during the regular season. No one's been able to stop him effectively, but they have today, Gavilan College.
Here is Collins on a reverse to Conley, trying the right side. He's got Murdoch out in front blocking for him. Goes across the 50, gets a first down to the Gavilan 47-yard line. Murdoch was the guy out in front that was blocking for him. You don't see that very often when the quarterback is the guy leading the barrage on the run.
Boy, that was a neat play, too, because obviously they were going after the #1 running back, and they forgot that they could hand off to somebody else, and that's exactly what he did. He said, I'm not going to take the ball. I'm getting hurt.
Well, that's exactly what they need to do to
mix it up, right?
Mix it up something on offense. Got to get something going here. At the Gavilan 47-yard line, it's 1st and 10. 2 wide to the left, and the backs are Johnson and Collins. Now Johnson in motion, pitch back to Collins, sweeping the left side. Breaks a tackle in the backfield, and now he looks at 4 Gavilan players and manages to scramble back to the Gavilan 48 and only lose half a yard. But, man, there's just no blocking out there on these guys. And I think they're coming up off out of the secondary and realizing that the Blue Devils are not going to pass down there. They just come right on up on Collins, and they just bury him. Loss of a yard, 2nd down, 11 coming up.
Tell you what, when you think of offenses, Gavilan College came into this ball game. I think it was 475 yards a ball game, even average, just to show you how strong they are offensively.
This time, pitch back to Collins, the right side. He's going to set up and pass, and he throws down the right sideline, has a man out there, and it's tipped and incomplete at the 15. So the Blue Devils try to mix it up, but good double-team coverage down there on the only wide receiver that was out. And Jenkins is covered well. It's incomplete. Bring up 3rd down, 11 now. But Collins can pass. I don't think we've seen him pass.
No, and you know, remember, this
year
is a guy that came out of high school playing six different positions, including punter, where he averaged about 46 yards a punt. This guy does everything well, and they just said, well, we're just going to make you a running back.
So 3rd down, 11. Blue Devils at the Gavilan 48-yard line. 2 wide to the left and backs out of the eye. Now Johnson, the up back, in motion to the far side. As Murdoch goes back to pass, looks over the middle, has a man there. It's complete to Johnson, and he manages all the way down to the 40-yard line of Gavilan, but it'll be short of a first down by about 3 yards. And personally, I don't like the call to punt here, but
no, I don't either. I was going to say the gut reaction to me is exactly what you just said. I wouldn't do that. I would try to do something else here. I would try to go for it.
Now they bring Stenberg off, and they are going to go for it. Hope they didn't take too much time deciding that, because they brought the offensive unit off, the punt team on, and now they switched back to the offensive unit. 4th down and a couple of yards just inside the Gavilan 40. And Murdoch, play action, looks for man out of the backfield. Johnson incomplete at the 39-yard line in the right flat. So the 4th down fails to yield any positive yardage and a 1st down for the Blue Devils, and they'll give the ball back to Gavilan at the Gavilan 39-yard line.
Well, Tony Rossi with you along with Bob Wendell. We've got the 11th Elks Bowl game on the radio and also TCI cable, and we're glad that they joined us again this year to rebroadcast the ball game for you on the TCI. I'll tell you, they're going to have it on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, then on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So you get 2 opportunities. If you can't make the Tuesday one, tune in Thursday night, vice versa.
1st and 10 for Gavilan at their own 39-yard line, let's call it. And they're a little slow getting onto the field with their offense, aren't they?
They said, gee, we already got 34 points. What's the rush? These guys have been going through the Blue Devils. I just cannot believe it.
Walwork gives off to a tight end reverse to Thomas. He's got wide open running room, left flat across the 50, and stumbled and down at about the Blue Devil 42-yard line. Wally Waller finally went over to make the tackle for the Blue Devils, but Frank Thomas on a tight end reverse from the right side to the left side, and he gets down to the Blue Devil 42-yard line. 18-yard pickup.
You know, it's a shame, too, because the Blue Devils really played some good defense at the end of the year. They really stopped a pretty good Taft team, and this is surprising to me. Here's a replay of that play, Bob. We're watching on TCI cable.
And look at that nice tackle by Wally Waller. Well, is he a great tackler or what?
Oh, he's something else.
I tell you, some 4-year school would do well to get Wally Waller. Here he play actions the same play, and Walwork pulls up and passes downfield, and it's intercepted at the 15-yard line. I think it's Derek Clay that made the interception. Kind of threw that one up for grabs.
Yeah, that pass by Walwork was a bad one, no question about it. You had 2 Blue Devils defending on the receiver, and one of them got in front and just took it away. You missed an interview, I think, during halftime, Bob. You were stuffing yourself with that sandwich over
Joe
there.
Joe Pickett made the interception.
But we got to talk to the college president over here, Jan Mosier. And, boy, they got a lot of fields behind Merced College, this Merced College property that they work on with crops in that development. They have a very fine agricultural department.
After the Joe Pickett interception at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10 for Merced College. Murdoch, play action, looking to pass over the left side. It's incomplete. Intended for Johnson. Tremendous pressure on Murdoch, and he had nothing on the pass, and it goes incomplete.
Boy, they were all over Murdoch. He went heads over heels, as you might say, head over heels.
Not much protection back there this afternoon.
Well, they got 3 points, but they trailed 34-3. That's it. We're in the 3rd period in this one, the Elks Bowl, number 11. It's hard to believe, Bob, we've done every one of them on the radio, and now with TCI the last couple of years on television.
2nd down and 10 from the 14. Murdoch again looking to pass. Man out of the backfield is Collins at the 14. He goes back toward the middle. He fumbles the football at the 20-yard line. And Gavilan has it at the 20-yard line. Can anything else go wrong for Merced this afternoon?
I don't think so, Bob. They've had everything go wrong. They've not played sharp themselves. Their defense has just not been able to stop Gavilan's offensive unit at all. The passing attack is awesome. As I recall, the last time I heard, the passer had been over 300 yards in this ball game already. About 320 yards. Walwork has just torn him apart.
And 4 touchdown passes.
They're replaying that play when he fumbled the ball.
Yep, you can see clearly that Gavilan came up with it. Number 74, Todd Skyberg. Here is Walwork to pass. Left side has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Gavilan. And just like that, guess who makes the catch?
Who was it?
I think his name is Guthmiller. Gary Guthmiller.
I cannot believe that guy. You talk about 4 touchdowns this afternoon, and Guthmiller has been on the receiving end of those passes, and what a receiver he is.
Well, he was really open back there, and Walwork again with a tremendous pass. Puts it right on the money. And with 10:57 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's now turned into a rout. As it's 40-3. Extra point attempt is up. Rios puts it through. And the score is now Gavilan 41, and Merced 3. And we'll be back to Elks Bowl 11 in just a minute on K Fiesta 106.3 FM.
Well, you know, we were talking, Bob, about passing this afternoon. The quarterback, Woolwork, has thrown for 5 touchdown passes. We got him unofficially with 348 yards.
4 to Guthmiller and 1 to Thomas. And Woolwork also ran for a touchdown. He has done it all this afternoon, but his offensive line has been awesome. 41-3 in favor of Gavilan as Rios kicks it up and finally kicks it into the field of play, and Taylor comes down with it at the 15-20 and across the 30 and down at the 32, and there's a fumble. And let's see if they're going to call it down or not. I don't think an official was near the play. They're going to give it back to Merced at the 32-yard line. I think that's
that was nice of them. Let's put it that way.
At the 32-yard line. You know, the Blue Devils did better when they kicked it out of bounds. They got it at the 35. But here, they run it out to the 32-yard line, and Merced will have it 1st and 10. Down 41-3 with 10:52 to go in the third quarter.
Boy, they're making it look easy, too. This Gavilan College and their passing attack is just great. They certainly aren't getting the rush by the Blue Devils.
Here's Murdoch back to pass. In the pocket, has time over the right side, has a man there. Incomplete, almost intercepted at the Gavilan 45. And McNeil Jackson wanted an interception call, but didn't get it. The official was right there and said he picked it off the grass.
Well, we told you they scored a lot of points, fans, and you know, just like that high school team that came in here last night hoping to beat Merced, they had scored a lot of points too, St. Mary's, but they got pounced 35-7 by Merced High. Merced High is for real, though, Bob, and they play in that big championship game up at University of Pacific. We'll broadcast that ball game on Friday evening at 7:15. You tune in on KFIE.
2nd down and 10 as Murdoch goes back to pass. In the pocket, throws left, has a man there. Catch made by the Blue Devils at the 40-yard line as Stewart goes down on a knee to make it, and it'll be short of a 1st down. But 3rd down coming up and about a yard to go for a 1st down.
Got a kick out of Woolwork. There was a nice article in the paper about him, and he said, we don't plan to lose. You know, last year they got upset by Fresno City down the road in that Producers Bowl down there.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to let up, does it?
No, it doesn't. They're really pouring it on.
Give to Johnson, left side of the line, and this is going to depend upon the spot. The Blue Devils had it 3rd and 1. Johnson pushes out to about the 42, and that is where they needed to get to. So it will depend on the spot.
You know, let's talk about Woolwork a second. He went to Tracy High School. Does that surprise you?
Nope, doesn't surprise me at all.
Tracy, a great ball club every year under Wayne Snyder, does a great job over there. All of his quarterbacks are good, aren't they, Bob? We even talked about this year's quarterback being outstanding.
Yeah. Silcox is excellent at Tracy this year.
But they got upset by St. Mary's, and St. Mary's came over here last night thinking, oh, boy, we'll handle the Bears, and they just only got 7 points against the Bears. They were lucky to do that. The Bears were all over them defensively.
1st and 10. The Blue Devils get the 1st down at their own 42-yard line. This time 2 wide to the right and split backs behind Murdoch. Back to pass again. Looking to the right. Has a man there. It's off his hands. Incomplete. As Stewart attempted a diving catch at the Gavilan 40, and it went off his palms. Incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Murdoch's taking a lot of punishment after delivering the ball, isn't he? Some guys
sure
are really getting to Murdoch. He's kind of sandwiched in between 2 or 3 white shirts. 41-3, Bob. I can't believe that score. We're in the 3rd period, and Gavilan is on top of the Bears at this. The Bears. We've been doing the Bears on Friday night, doesn't mean on the radio, but also the Blue Devils on Saturday.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 42. Here's Murdoch handing off on a draw play, and this time Collins is dropped for a loss back at the 40. Or it was Corey Johnson, not Collins.
Well, hey, the Bears, we talk about them. Corey Johnson is from Merced High School.
Yep. So a loss of 2 on the draw to Johnson. It'll bring up 3rd down rather, and 12 back at the 40 now. That's going to be a long afternoon for the Blue Devils to finish this one off, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been talking about the Bears, but, you know, the Atwater Falcons had another good team this year, and credit to their fine coaching over there.
Here's Murdoch back to pass in the pocket. Throws right, has a man there, and it's off his palms, incomplete at the 50. That time intended for Jenkins, but a little bit out in front of him. He dove for it, could not come up with it. It'll bring up 4th down, and Stenberg's into punt. 9:10 to go, 3rd quarter, 41-3. Gavilan on top.
Well, Stenberg averaged 37.5 yards per punt, but he had a couple of boomers in that first half. Had to shorten up on one because he wanted to get it in deep in the territory, but otherwise he'd have had a terrific average in that first half.
10-man rush on Stenberg. But he has time and gets it away. Nice punt. Rolls back inside the 30. Breaks one tackle, but can't get away from another tackler. And going down after a nice tackle by Brent Covey at about the 25-yard line.
Well, let's see what can happen here. Boy, the Blue Devils have just, maybe they can help happen something on defense, because like the Bears defense, that's been the key of the Bears defense in the high school ranks. What about the Bears Blue Devils defense here, Bob? Couldn't you get a turnover here and start some momentum or something, get going in this ball game?
No, maybe. There you see the score a moment ago, 41-3 on the scoreboard.
I just can't believe that how they're being blown out of this stadium.
Here's a give to the tailback, squirting out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. And Joe Evans picks up about 8 or 9 yards. And now coming in at quarterback, Brian Smith for Gavilan College. So much to the relief of the secondary of Merced College, Walwork is out of the ballgame right now.
They may start using the runners, that's for sure. Joe Evans, 102 attempts this year, 512 yards, averages 5 yards per carry, scored 3 touchdowns. Longest gain this year has been 35.
Second down, a couple of yards to go. The give to the tailback, and Evans fumbles the football, and there's a pile. They're going to call it down, or?
I think so, the way they're looking at it. We'll see.
He did not get the first down. They're going to call it down, I think. It'll bring up third down and short for Gavilan at their own 34-yard line.
Well, Gavilan knows all about being behind. Remember I told you about that ball game? They were behind 30-7 at halftime to Modesto Junior College. They know all about that. Who went hobbling off there, Bob?
Joe Evans hobbling off the field.
So Evans gets a chance to carry the ball, and he's hurt already.
Third down and short. 3 wide to the left side, and a pitch back to the tailback going the left side, and struggling for first down out across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and a first down for Gavilan.
Well, I think what's happened is Perkins, who's a very fine coach for Gavilan College, has said, hey, we better pull back on trying to score any more points here, because they won't invite us to the banquet tonight, get those trophies.
I think it was Sosa that got the first down for Gavilan out to the 36-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for Gavilan. New quarterback, Brian Smith. He's looking to pass, rolling to his right, looking downfield, throws, has a man there, and it's complete to the Gavilan 44-yard line. Gain of about 8 yards.
You know, the quarterback, Smith, that you just talked about, Brian Smith, 15 of 27 on the year. He's not used him a lot. 55% completion ratio, no interceptions, for 228 yards, 15.2 average. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. His longest pass play was 45 yards.
Second down, a couple of yards to go for Gavilan at their own 44. 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. An entire second string now in for Gavilan. I don't think there are any starters in there. Maybe a couple. Steve Alkire, wide receivers in there still, but mostly pretty white jerseys in there. Give to Sosa, finds some running room across the right side, gets outside and into Blue Devil territory and down to the 48-yard line. First down for Gavilan.
Well, it didn't matter. They put in the second string, Bob. They've still been able to get through the Blue Devils, and boy, it's just hard to believe one of the Blue Devils is down.
Well, he's getting up now. Derek Clay, a little slow getting up out of the pile, but he's okay. Spot at the Blue Devil 47. It's 1st and 10 for Gavilan.
Comes off and seems to be okay.
So Brian Smith has looked pretty good at quarterback so far for Gavilan. Has 2 wide to the left and 1 to the right. The lone setback, I believe, is Snap right now. Now it's Sosa, and he gets the call, and he's up the middle, and he's back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Well, the Blue Devils won their ball game last night in their invitational over here in basketball, and tonight they'll be playing at 6 o'clock. So if you can get out to the Blue Devil Gymnasium and watch the Blue Devils in basketball, if you haven't seen them, why don't you come on out tonight?
Second down and 10. Gavilan at the Merced 47-yard line. Gavilan on her left and Merced on her right. Smith, the quarterback, straight back to pass, sets up in the pocket, now being chased and scrambling to his right, gets away from a tackler, throws downfield, and it's incomplete out of bounds on the near sideline.
Next time, Bob, we have a break, I'll read some of the things that were turned in to different schools. Bob is a principal at Rivera Junior High over there, and he does a wonderful job. He once in a while comes home at night and sees his wife, I understand. I mean, it's that many hours, right?
Just enough so she remembers my name anyway. Third down and 10. Smith with 3 wide to the right and 2 to the left and no running back. Smith scrambling around. He's going to be sacked. No, he gets away from a tackler. Another tackler stays on his feet and is finally dropped at the 45-yard line. Smith looked like he was going to be sacked a couple of times, and to his credit, he managed to get away from some tacklers and finally get down to the Blue Devil 45 for a gain of a couple of yards. But it will bring a 4th down and 8, and it'll be punt time for Gavilan as Jim Gowana comes into punt.
But, you know, over the years,
I'm not sure how you say his name.
Well, in any case, you know, over the years, you can imagine some of the excuses when parents don't get their kids to school on time or whatever it is. We'll read some of those in a few minutes when we get a good break. But in any case, boy, the Blue Devils are just going to get the ball back here, trailing 41-3.
Here's the punt. It's away. Nice high punt. Fair catch called for and a drop, but picked it up immediately at about the 12-yard line is Derek Clay.
Well, let's see if the Blue Devils can get started here. They've had some good football games this year, Bob, but this has got to be one of the most dismaying football games they've played in for a long, long time in Merced College history.
Well, we got a flag down now. This punt's going to come back.
Bob and I, over the years, have had some fun with some of the things, not just related to football. When you think about the... Oh, yeah. Here's one. Please excuse Sarah, Bob, for being absent. She was sick and I had her shot.
Well, 5-yard penalty against Merced for running into the kicker is declined because of where the spot is, and so Merced will take over at their own 12-yard line.
These are actual excuses, too. Please execute Johnny for being. It was his father's fault.
No, that's not.
It's true.
Did you get those out of my office?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Oh, here's the best, maybe one of the best ones, I don't know. Mary couldn't come to school, Bob, because she was bothered by very close veins. Maybe we need some levity in the huddle there for the Blue Devils when you're down 41-3. 5:20 to go, third period action. Tony Rossi, Bob Wendell with you.
From the 12-yard line, Murdoch looking to pass over the right side, has Johnson out of the backfield across the 15 and out to the 20-yard line, or he's driven out of bounds on the far sideline.
This one I started to laugh. You know, John has been absent because he had 2 teeth taken off his face. Bob's seen all these as a principal, I know that, but the whole school at East Campus, I was filling in there the other day, they were going into hysterics in the classrooms. You can imagine the teachers reading these things, right?
20-yard line. It's second down, a couple of yards to go. Merced down 41-3 in Elks Bowl 11 with 4:40 to go here in the third quarter. Split backs behind Murdoch, wide receivers left and right. Tight end Vanderwerk in motion now to the near side, and the give is to Collins coming the left side. Goes to the left, looks back toward the middle, and looks like Corey Johnson, not Collins, and he may have gotten the first down to the 23.
Yeah, they're motioning. Yeah, they're going to move the flags.
So Johnson gets some tough yardage there up the middle for a first down, and we've got a Blue Devil down, I think, and maybe Johnson.
Oh, boy. Don't like to lose him. He's a very fine player.
Now, I understand that, well, we got to, no, it's a Gavilan player that's down.
You started to say something, Bob?
Well, I understand that several of the Blue Devil players have been approached by four-year schools, or, you know, at least in terms of some contact made with letters or whatever that kind of, whatever is legal at this point. I don't want to indicate anything's illegal, but, you know, they have to be real careful at recruiting, you know, these colleges. But I understand that Corey Johnson has had some interest expressed by four-year colleges.
That's nice to hear. That is nice to hear.
Because
But Corey
he's
plays hard, doesn't he?
He's a fine running back, a good blocker, all-round, all-purpose kind of guy. Can catch a pass for you, and probably a good asset to a football program at a four-year university, I'm sure.
Well, one of the reasons that a lot of these people play for Merced College is they get it in the basketball program as well as the football program, an opportunity to play at a four-year school. A lot of people like the discipline and the way they coach over here at Merced College. This afternoon, I'm sure they don't feel that way, trailing 41-3.
1st and 10. Conley in a tailback gets the call. He goes off the left side of the line and out to about the 28-yard line. Gain of about 4 or 5 yards for Conley.
Amos Conley not getting a lot of playing time this year, right, Bob? Because you've had other running backs ahead of him. Odell Collins, of course, has done a great job this year until this ball game where they just really stuffed him defensively.
But he had a tremendous freshman season.
Oh, yeah, he's outstanding. Somebody asked me the
leading rusher for single season for Merced
Somebody
College.
asked me, though, in regard to that, is there a possibility the four-year school would be able to take him right now, and they can't do it, I understand.
Here's Murdoch back to pass on 2nd and 6 over the left side. Has a man out there, complete, and a first down out to the Gavilan 42-yard line. It's Vanderwerk, the tight end. Well, statistically, the Blue Devils will probably improve here in the late in the second half. Well, actually not late in the second half, but in the second half. It seems late when you're down 41-3. Seems like the game ought to be almost over. But in the second half, with second stringers in there for the most part for Gavilan, at least for an awful lot of it, the Blue Devils offense will certainly look different than it has earlier. Murdoch to pass, throws one to Johnson, or Conley rather, the left side of the line. He does manage to get across the line of scrimmage up the left sideline and out to about the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a yard or two.
You know, you mentioned, let's talk about Collins a minute. You mentioned just a few seconds ago he's the all-time leading rusher for Merced College. Got that this season, over 1,600 yards, and what a nice individual he is. We're going to try and get him up on our post-game show. We had him up a few weeks ago, and what an intelligent guy. He was so humble, and you wouldn't expect a guy like that to do what he does, but he's just a tremendous guy.
2nd down, about 8 yards to go. Merced at their own 43. Murdoch to pass with the right side. This time has a guy out there incomplete at the 48-yard line. Corey Johnson could not come up with it that time. Odell Collins, by the way, in case you're wondering, is on the near sideline sitting on the bench. Very relaxed.
Probably saying, well, we're going to go with a passing attack, Odell. Don't need you out there. I don't think he's hurt.
Doesn't look to be.
Except his pride maybe from being stopped so many times by a very fine defense from Gavilan, just ripping it.
3rd down, about 8 yards to go. From the 43-yard line, Murdoch to pass. In the pocket. Going to be sacked back at the 33-yard line. Now we got a little extracurricular activity, and we'll get a couple of flags in there. Originally, I think initially, rather, the Gavilan player kept bumping one of the Merced players, but may have been because he did not hear a whistle.
Yeah, Adam Brownstein was pretty mad, number 52 for the Blue Devils, coming off the field on the bench, so he was pretty upset.
Well, he went over to nail the Gavilan player that kept bumping after the play, and I think he may be the one that gets called for the penalty.
So now the Blue Devils, we'll see what the penalty is going to be marked. That looks like the Blue Devils are going to be backing up over here. Again, TCI Cable, they're going to put that penalty, well, no, they're going offsetting, huh?
It's offsetting.
I've always wondered about that. You know, when you get in a fight, you get in a fight, right? How do you determine who's the aggressor and aggressee and all that stuff? And
well, when you really don't have time to sit down and talk to everybody involved and all the witnesses.
Now, how do you feel about this play, right?
Yeah, you gotta make a split-second decision. It's pretty tough.
Now, wait a minute. Now, what about instant replay? Wouldn't that be great on the fights? Instant replay to see who started it.
4th down, Stenberg into punt. Nice high spiral punt. Drives Gavilan back to the 22-yard line and manages to get away from the first tacklers, but out to the 25-yard line goes John Rolmes. And Gavilan will take over there at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
What about instant replay used for guys going to go down there and get refreshments or something like that? Would that be good? What else could we use instant replay for?
I don't know.
Maybe a good yell or two by the cheerleaders. Maybe we could do that.
Clock says 1:41. That's the way that clock should read, even though those lights are lit up on the left of the one there. 41-3, Gavilan leads here in the third quarter. Smith on a quarterback draw, left side of the line, and he's tackled immediately as he crosses the line of scrimmage. And making the tackle, Eddie Davis for the Blue Devils. About a yard or two gain. Now these are tough times, you know, in broadcasting, because you got a game 41-3, and you still got time to go in the third quarter. Everybody's throwing in their second string. I mean, everybody's given up on the game. They're out there just to finish it off. And how do you make it interesting for the people listening?
Well, it's true.
It's true. This is tough, I got to tell you. 2nd down and 8 for Gavilan at their own 27-yard line. Smith turns around, gives off to his tailback up the middle, and Sosa is smothered at the line of scrimmage. You know, and with all the second stringers that are in there, you're not going to see a real exciting, explosive offense, nor a destructive defense. They're just out there to let everybody get some action in Elks Bowl 11. And it's going to be a long fourth quarter, unless they can just keep it on the ground and let it run out. 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. Smith rolling to his right, looking to pass downfield for the first down. He has a receiver there, but it's incomplete at the 35. And it'll bring up 4th down for Gavilan. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Merced High School was playing against another team, and the first half was a blowout. As I recall, Merced High was up big. So in the second half, they just had the clock running. You remember that game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was...
Instead of stopping the clock at all, the only time they'd stop it would have been on a touchdown. But other than that, they just let it run in the second half. I mean, you might as well. And it was a very short second half. You remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
And both coaches had agreed to that. But, you know, why prolong a misery like that?
Well, there's 31 ticks of the clock left here in the third period, but the Blue Devils are down 41-3. They're going to get the ball here on the punt.
And here's the kick. And the Blue Devils let it, nope, picked up by Clay on a bounce. He gets across the 30 out to the 32. And Merced will come back out with their offense at their own 32-yard line with 21 seconds left here in the third quarter. And Merced leading, or rather Merced trailing by a score of 41-3. Beautiful afternoon for Elks Bowl 11, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know what to do, though, to get us back in, Bob. I'm going to read another excuse from the schools, okay?
Yeah.
Please excuse Ray Friday from school. He has very loose vowels.
Hey, I owe you. Is that loose enough for you?
This one is pretty hard to take. Chris will not be in school because he has an acre in his side.
Well, we had an infraction on the kickoff return against Merced College, and they'll be backed all the way up to their 16-yard line. Here's the indication: unsportsmanlike conduct against Merced. So the frustration comes out here by the Blue Devils, down 41-3 in Elks Bowl 11. They're no doubt frustrated. Offense back out onto the field from the 16-yard line. Pass down the left sideline, intended for the wide receiver. It's intercepted by Gavilan at the 45-yard line. McNeil Jackson makes the interception. The ball intended for Joe Williams, the wide receiver. And Murdoch aired it out, but it was right to the Gavilan defensive back. And it's intercepted. And Gavilan will take over at the Merced 45-yard line with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Wouldn't be so bad if this was the fourth quarter, but we got another whole quarter to go.
That's true. We've got to talk about the rest of the bowl games going on, Bob. East County Bowl, they got Los Medanos 8-2 versus Laney College 7-2-1 as Gavilan's getting ready to come to the ball. Also, City College of San Francisco, that's the #1 team, Palomar, against the #2 team, San Francisco.
Sosa is hit immediately as soon as he gets the ball from Smith and knocked for a loss back just inside the 50-yard line.
If they could be playing for a national championship in that ball game, huh?
This is Palomar and San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. You talk about high scoring.
Well, thankfully, the end of the third quarter arrives, and we'll move on to the fourth quarter when we return in just a minute. To Elks Bowl 11, you're listening to it on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Second down, about 14 yards to go for Gavilan at the Blue Devil 48-yard line or thereabouts. Brian Smith, the quarterback, straight back to pass, throws right, has a man there, complete at the 45, and inside a couple of tacklers, and down to the Blue Devil 40-yard line. about 5 yards short of a first down. Looks like Ryan Abramson may get into the ball game at quarterback for Merced when the offense comes back. He's been warming up on the near sideline. Murdoch is sitting down now, taking the tape off his hand. Pitch back to Sosa, right side. He gets some running room down the far sideline and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. First down and more for Sosa on the sweep to the right side, and Gavilan has it at the Merced 20-yard line.
Remember, keep in mind, they already lead this ball game 41-3. Bob has already told you that a lot of white shirts have gone in there that have not had the opportunity to play against the Blue Devils, and they're still pouring on points. And what can you say, Bob? Perkins does a great job as a coach for their ball club.
First down, Gavilan at the Merced 20-yard line. Brian Smith, the quarterback, in replace of Josh Walworth, who tore the defense apart. Here is Smith. Sosa up the middle and gang tackle at the 19-yard line. Gain of a yard maybe.
You know, we had a little talk about the game today at halftime. Wally Jacobs is the theme child today. He's a third grader from Shindo Elementary School. Theme child for December 4th bowl game today. And there's a picture in the program. Of course, you can't see the picture, but it's very nice that he's got that honor today.
Second down, 10. No gain on that last play. Still just inside the 20-yard line for Gavilan. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Here's Smith to pass. Looks toward the end zone, throws it up for grabs, and it's intercepted by Leonard. Inside the end zone, he decides to run it out. Comes out across the 10, the 15, and tackled at about the 15 or 16-yard line. So the interception by Leonard Davis, or J.R. Davis, gives the ball back to Merced College at their own 16 or 17-yard line.
You know, to talk about Bill Perkins, the fine coach of Gavilan, as you can see, he's handling Merced College this afternoon. 34-8 in his 4th year. Now, is that an outstanding record as a coach?
That's a really good record, isn't it?
Nice fellow, too. Nice person.
Ryan Abramson comes into quarterback for Merced College. Ball at the 17-yard line. First and 10, Blue Devils at their own 17. Backs out of the eye and now got a timeout before the snap. Gavilan calls a timeout. We'll take a break. You're listening to Elks Bowl 11 on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. The give, Conley near sideline, and Conley's out to the 35-yard line and a first down. Nice run by Amos Conley for a first down.
You know, when talking about the Elks Bowl, the first one was in 1983. Merced won that one over Shasta 28-17. Then they came back the next year, beat Yuba 40-33. The next year, Merced beat Santa Rosa. Well, that was a tie ball game, and Santa Rosa was #1 at that time. You remember that, Bob?
Yep,
14
I sure
all.
do. And it took a national championship away from Santa Rosa that tied it. Abramson gives off to Conley, left side of the line, gets some running room, breaks it into the secondary, across the 50, manages to stay on his feet, and he's down at the Gavilan 41-yard line. A nice run by Amos Conley to the Gavilan 41-yard line and a first down.
Well, it's neat to see the Blue Devils moving the ball after trailing 41-3 here. What it says, 19:06 to go in the second half.
No, not 19:06. I think that's 13:06 to go.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they've had problems with the numbers out there every single time. Last night we had the same problem with that. It looks like a 9 up there.
41-yard line. It's first and 10, Merced. Abramson is the quarterback. Gives off to the tailback, Conley. Finds some running room outside, 35-30. Inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. And another first down for Merced College and a nice run by Amos Conley.
My daughter Denise has come up to the press box here. She was talking about we had some car work that had to be done on our car today, and she said it's fixed. The only reason they do you that is because they get to drive the car that evening. So she's up here to tell me, Dad, it's fixed.
No, what she came up to was not only tell you that it's fixed. That's the good news. Bad news is need some gas money.
Oh, no.
I know that line.
I have no money, honey.
First and 10, Blue Devils, 26-yard line of Gavilan. The up back gets the call. And inside the 20 to the 19-yard line goes Simmerall, the fullback. Gain of about 7 yards to the 19.
You know, with the I'm thinking about it. With the flu season around, remember those excuses we were telling you fans about? What excuses? The last night, please excuse Wayne for being out. He had the fuel. I don't know why they do that.
2nd down and 3. Abramson to Simmerall. 1st down and more inside the 15 and down at about the 12-yard line. It'll be a Blue Devil 1st down.
My wife started laughing at one of their excuses. I hope the Blue Devils can score here. Please excuse Pedro from being absent yesterday. He had the DIAA, the DIA, of course. Then he had the DIRHH. Then he scratched out. Then he had DYAR. Then he said, to heck with it. He had the runs.
First and 10. Conley, right side, inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line.
That's what we need this afternoon, more of those runs, right, Bob? We need the runs.
Well, again, you got to remember that Gavilan is playing with almost all, second string here. And, of course, the Blue Devils have put in some second string on offense as well. But maybe all we're getting is that Merced's second line is better than second line of offense is better than Gavilan's second line of defense.
Well, you might be right on that. That's right.
2nd down, about 4 yards to go from the 6-yard line. It's Simmerall, left side of the line, and he gets behind his blockers and gets close to a 1st down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. See where they spot this one. It'll be close to the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short if they did not get it. Yeah, it'll be 3rd and short. Ball just outside the 2 and about the 2.5 yard line.
Well, Abramson, the quarterback, as you said, doesn't play a lot this year. He was only 12 of 23 passing, 52%, 109 yards. So you can see they're not getting a lot of work. Let's see, Simmerall has 3 receptions for 29 yards. And rushing,
Simmerall gets the call, and he's got the 1st down inside the 1 yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at the 1 yard line.
Thad has only carried the ball 10 times coming in this ball game for 35 yards, Bob.
Yeah.
That's it. So, you were right. They're just getting a lot of work here for guys.
Well, everybody needs a chance to play in the bowl. Everybody wants to play in the bowl game.
I agree with you. Wouldn't it be nice if you get a ring or something for playing in a bowl game? And they all get something, both teams. And let's hope that the banquet is nice tonight and they straighten out. 41-3. This is awful, but let's hope the Blue Devils can score here with 9:53 to go.
Now, 1st and goal from the 1 yard line. Simmerall, and he dives and he gets the touchdown. 9:45 to go in the 4th quarter, rather, and the Blue Devils have scored their first touchdown of the afternoon. A 1 yard dive by Thad Simmerall, and it's 41-9.
Tony Rossi along with Bob Wendell broadcasting the ball game. Wish we had better news fans, but the Blue Devils down big time here, 41-9, and it's 4th quarter action.
So Dedling's not even going to get an attempt at an extra point here. They'll go for the 2-point conversion. I'm not sure that
this could be one of the greatest comebacks in football history.
Probably not.
Well, that's very pessimistic, huh?
Simmerall's the lone setback behind Abramson for the 2-point conversion.
See if his paper boy delivers a paper to his house tomorrow morning, huh?
Here is Abramson rolling to his right, looking to pass. He's going to take the sack at the 15-yard line. Might as well throw it up for grabs if you're going to take that kind of a sack. But nonetheless, the score remains 41-9 with 9:44 to go in the ball game. We'll be back in just a minute to Elks Bowl 11 on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. .944 to go in Elks Bowl 11 as Dedling kicks it off. And back inside the 5-yard line. The catch is made out across the 10, back toward the middle. Around a couple of guys and out to about the 17-yard line, and that's about it. So Gavilan will take over at about their own 17-yard line, 1st and 10, with about 9.5 minutes to go in Elks Bowl 11. 41-9 in favor of Gavilan.
Well, Odell Collins is the guy we had up recently, but we're going to bring him back up at the end of the ballgame, number 22. Odell has certainly done a great job for the Blue Devils this year. Not in this particular game. They shut him down badly. It's just been one of those things. Gavilan's played in the right place at the right time.
Smith gives off to the wide receiver in motion to the near side. Sweep up the left sideline and out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with Odell Collins. We're watching him down the sideline. They just took a lot of the first team out and said, heck with it.
Malik Monroe, about 8 yards on that sweep to the left side.
You know, how much can you do? I mean, you're talking about Odell Collins being honorable mention All-American. Isn't that something, Bob?
Boy, that is. That's an honor. As a freshman, no doubt, no less. Second down, a couple of yards to go from the 26-yard line. Smith, this time, tailback, or the wide receiver going the right side. And he gets a lot of running room out across the 40 to the 46-yard line and about a 20-yard run that time. And a first down and more.
Well, you know, he was the co-most valuable player in the Northern California Football League. He finished the regular season as the 4th leading rusher in the state of California with a school record 1,618 yards. And Bob and I alluded to that a little bit earlier. So Odell's got to be really disappointed down there in the sidelines. I can't blame him.
First and 10 for Gavilan at their own 46-yard line. This time, pitch back, coming the left side. Looks like Sosa undercut as Sosa comes up across the line of scrimmage. Turned it upfield, and Sosa got about a yard out of it to about the 47 or 48-yard line. That's about it, as Pickett made the stop. Clock running, 8:15 to go here in this ball game.
41-9, Merced College down in this ball game. It's just so hard to believe, but hey, Gavilan has had a tremendous winning record. They've been in bowl game 6 of the last 7 years.
This time it's the tailback, number 34, David Snap, that gets the call, and he's across the 50, or about right at the 50, just across the 50 into Merced territory. Now they're going to put it right on the 50-yard line. I mean, right on the 50.
Other bowl
They're
games,
going to put it right on the Elks' nose.
Oh, is that? Yeah, they did out there. You're right.
Third down, about 6 yards to go at the 50-yard line. Give to the wide receiver in motion to the right side, cuts it upfield, gets to the 45 of Merced, and probably going to be about a yard short of a first down is Corey David.
Bob, the rest of those bowl games today, in the Potato Bowl game, it's Bakersfield College 10-0. They're good every year, aren't they, Bob? Against number 5, San Bernardino. Bakersfield's number 3 in the state. San Bernardino 9-1 on the year. Orange Coast Classic, Antelope Valley 6-4 versus Orange Coast 7-3.
On first down, or on the fourth down, they get the first down inside the Blue Devil 40 on the sweep to the right side of the 38-yard line. And that time running the football was Joe Evans for Gavilan.
Then they have the Orange County Bowl game. There's a lot of bowl games in the state of California. One of the Blue Devils is down out there,
Jose
Bob.
Gonzalez is down, I think.
We're going to take a break with that. You're listening to K Fiesta 106.3 FM, Merced, Modesto.
First and 10 for Gavilan at their 37-yard line. On a keeper by Smith, he's inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. A gain of about 5 on the quarterback run.
Well, you know, talking about Gavilan, they had a play run off there, Bob, and they continue to go down the field. They're leading 41-9, 6:34 to go in the ball game. Could yet they score again the way they're going?
Well, they could yet. Second down and 5 after that run by Smith. This time he gives off to Joe Evans, right side. He finds some running room outside. Now cuts back toward the middle, still on his feet. Struggling inside the 25 and down at the 23-yard line.
Maybe they won't be invited to the Elks Bowl banquet tonight, huh?
Davis gets the first down and a bunch more. He'll have it down to the Blue Devil 23-yard line. And it will be a first down for Gavilan.
No, I doubt that. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that the money they raised, and they've raised some $80,000 over the 10 years they had done the bowl game. This is the 11th year. Boy, it's nice to have both teams come on over. They get the jackets, little sweaters, everything. That's very nice that the Elks Bowl Committee does that.
Lanker to the left side, now back toward the middle, and inside the 10 at the 5, and touchdown, Gavilan. Malik Monroe, 22-yard touchdown run, and Gavilan has scored yet again, as you said.
My goodness, sports fans, it's 47-9. That's right, 47-9. The Blue Devils blocked 2 extra points this ball game. That's about the only good news we can tell you. They did have a field goal at the end of the first half. They scored a touchdown just a little while ago. But Malik Monroe, to show you, he didn't carry the ball much this year. Only carried it 19 times the whole season, Bob. Gained 120 yards, averaged 6.3. He did score a couple of touchdowns, so it's nothing new to him, but he didn't carry the ball much, and there he got the ball and scores a touchdown.
Juan Rios in to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. Chip shot is through. And the score with 6:06 to go is Gavilan 48 and Merced 9. We'll be back in just a minute on K Fiesta 106.3 FM.
Bob and I are back, and we were just looking at the history of Merced in the Elks Bowl. They won over Gavilan 40-6. That was 64. Pardon me. They beat Shasta 28-17. Then Yuba the very next year tied Santa Rosa 14-all. That's what the game we were talking about. San Jose City College came in with a great ball club in 86, defeated the Blue Devils 20-16. In 87, Merced defeated San Mateo shutout 20-0.
Here's the kickoff, and goes out of bounds at about the 11-yard line as Taylor watches it goes out. And it'll come out to the 35-yard line.
Then in 88, Blue Devils came back, beat Fresno City 21-17. The very next year, Fresno City was against the Blue Devils again. The Blue Devils handled them again, 27-11. And then in 1990, Solano, you remember that ball game. They came in with a tremendous passing attack. Remember that one, Bob?
Yep, I do.
But again, they shut them down. Merced won that ball game 22-20. Palomar and Chabot played in that next ball game in 91. That was the #1 team against the #2 team in the state of California. And in the nation, they were playing for the national championship. Palomar won that ball game 37-24. Last year, Sacramento defeated Butte in this game 35-7.
First and 10 Blue Devils at their own 35-yard line. Abramson turns around, gives off to Conley, finds some running room up in the middle, into the secondary, across the 50, into Gavilan territory, and down at the 44-yard line.
Remember, Amos Conley was a starter at most of last year, I should say. And Amos didn't play much of this year at all, did he, Bob?
Not behind Odell Collins.
No,
the all-time leading rusher in Merced College history, over 1,600 yards.
You know, speaking about rushing and running backs, what about the Bears? You know, you talk about a great running back. Bland. Tremendous running back.
The all-time single-season rushing leader for Merced High history. Set that record last night. As Merced won 35-7, they go on to the section championship next Friday night. Here's Conley on first down. He gets the call inside the 40 to the 37-yard line, a gain of about 5 or 6 more for Conley.
And we'll be broadcasting that ball game at 7:15 for the University of Pacific.
Up at Pacific Stadium, Tiger Stadium, whatever they call that stadium up there at UOP.
I slipped last night and said University of Stockton. Somebody was listening, I know.
UOP.
You know, how long has it been
Next
UOP, though? Remember, it was COP for a long time.
20 years or so.
20 years. It's been that long?
Probably that long. Close to that. Anyway, it's Merced and Nevada Union.
Oh, yeah. Nevada Union won their ball game, too.
Second down and 4. Blue Devils at Gavilan 37. Simmerall gets the call up the middle. He fights for some tough yardage and gets down to the Gavilan 35. He'll be short of the first down by about a yard. Well, both times that Merced has won the San Joaquin section, it has been against Nevada Union in 1989 and then again in 1990.
I want to thank TCI Cable for coming out. They do good work, as you might note, and we really enjoyed them last year. And they said, hey, we want to work with you guys again, and really pleased that the TCI Cable have done that. Will be televised on Tuesday night at 7, then again on Thursday night at 7 o'clock also.
Third down, a yard to go. Abramson, Simmerall, left side, first down and more, inside the 30, 25, 20, 15, and drug down at about the 11-yard line. Far sideline, Simmerall goes down, and the Blue Devils will have it at the Gavilan 11-yard line, first down. 4:09 to go. 48-9 in favor of Gavilan.
Basketball-wise, the Blue Devils have opened up. They're in that Merced College Invitational. They're playing here on the campus, but in any case, so far they've been about 500 on the year. Bill Russell thinks they'll do all right. We'll see what happens in league play.
First and 10 from the 11-yard line. Here's the give to Conley, and he fights to the 10, maybe inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line up the middle. Second down and 8 coming up.
I broadcast their ball games on KFIE. We'll have all the league games, Bob, in basketball for Bill Russell. I think he's got a much improved team. I don't know if you saw the Blue Devils this year, but fans, if you haven't, sneak out to the gym one night and take a look.
Second down and 8 from the 9-yard line. The give is to Conley, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
You're starting to release some of the balloons, I guess, that were tied on to some of the posts now. Kind of having fun, I guess. Not really taking off, much like the Blue Devils today. Kind of deflated, right? They just didn't get going. But anyway, Merced College trailing this ball game 48-9.
Third down and 8 for Merced College at the Gavilan 9-yard line. Abramson, play action, looking to pass, has a man in the end zone, wide open, touchdown, Merced College. Dwayne Vanderwerk was wide open. The tight end makes the catch, and the Blue Devils have scored. 2:55 to go, and Merced College has added a touchdown. 9-yard pass from Abramson to Vanderwerk, and with 2:55 to go, it's now Gavilan 48 and Merced 15.
Well, Dwayne Vanderwerk, we should say something about him, Bob. He didn't start at the beginning of the season. This is a good workhorse guy that earned his starting spot, and he's played some pretty good football out here for the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils go for the 2-point conversion. Abramson, play action, looking to pass, in the pocket, shakes off a tackler, throws incomplete, intended for Stewart in the end zone, and a defender got an arm on it, knocked it down. It's incomplete, and the 2-point conversion fails. 48-15. We'll be back to Elks Bowl 11 in just a minute on K Fiesta 106.3 FM. Blue Devils attempt the onside kick, and Gavilan recovers at their own 47-yard line. A catch made on a high bounce, going out of bounds on the far sideline. So Gavilan will have it at their own 47-yard line with 2:53 to go in this one.
Well, we're going to try and get up, if we can do it, Wally Waller and also Odell Collins. Odell, I think you'll enjoy listening to. He's a fine young man. Wally Waller certainly deserves to get on the radio a little bit, doesn't he, Bob? He's a tremendous asset to the Merced College defense. And, of course, Collins on the other side has been a tremendous asset to the offense. Tonight, they're just not doing, I say tonight, but this afternoon. 48-15, the score, 2:53 to go.
First and 10, Gavilan at their own 47-yard line. Here's Smith giving off to the flanker going the left side. He runs into a couple of Blue Devils and decides, hey, there's no place to go. Might as well run it out here, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage back at the 45-yard line. And Corey David just didn't have much to work with there. Said, hey, I guess I'm going to have to eat this one. He's a drop for a loss back to the 45.
You know, Wally Waller is a guy that leads the Blue Devils in tackles. He's the leader on the ball club. When it comes to that, he's got tremendous leadership. He's going to play for a 4-year institution, Bob, no question in my mind.
Second down and 12. Here's pitch back to Davis, and Davis is sacked back at the 41-yard line. Or Evans, rather. Did I say Davis? We were thinking about bringing J.R. Davis up, and I was thinking Davis. Pitch back was to Evans at the 41-yard line, and he's dropped for a loss of a couple of yards.
Well, J.R. Davis is an interesting story, too. J.R. has been leading the conference in interceptions, and a lot of major schools are looking at J.R. Davis. They like him a lot.
Third down now for Gavilan, back at their own 41-yard line. It's third down, about 16 or 17 yards to go for a first down now. Smith back to pass over the right side, has a man there, incomplete, and a flag goes down. Shot by the defender for Merced College on the wide receiver, Terrence Williams. Raymond Taylor put an arm out, and I don't think he really meant to cause that kind of damage or have it to be that spectacular of a foul, but it is. It's a 15-yard personal foul against Merced College's Raymond Taylor as he put an arm out on the wide receiver going by and clotheslined him, as they say. Now, they've thrown him out of the game as well. Taylor's come off the field.
Boy, they don't fool around, huh? 1:35 to go in the ball game, and they say, hey, off the field, buddy.
Well, Terrence Williams didn't appreciate it, the wide receiver for Gavilan. I know that. So it'll be a first down for Gavilan at the Blue Devil 43-yard line with 1.5 minutes to go.
We're also going to get up on our post-game show, if we can get him, number 31, J.R. Davis. So we'll get a few of these stars over the year. Of course, not this particular ball game, but it's been difficult against this ball game with Gavilan playing such outstanding play.
Looks like Evans up the middle, and Evans gets to the 41-yard line, a gain of a couple of yards up the middle. And the clock runs with 1:25 to go. 48-15, Gavilan on top. In case you tuned in late, it was over early. Seems like this game's been over for quite a while. As a matter of fact, we've just been stringing it out here to say we ran it out. Made it legal. Here's the give to the tailback. Sosa up the middle into the secondary and down inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. And a fumble, and Merced has it.
Well, it's a good break for Merced. You don't want to give him any more points. Coming into this ball game,
yeah, you don't want him to get up over 50. There's something about that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's disgusting, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, coming into this ball game, you know how many times they scored over 40 points during the regular season?
I don't know.
7 times.
7 out of 10 times they scored over 40 points. So
7 times they scored. My goodness, that, you know, that's just amazing to me.
Clock shows 1 minute exactly on it. There's a replay of the fumble. And you can see the Blue Devils, Joe Pickett in there and others coming up with it. Number 40 came away with it, Alden Johnson. 1st and 10 Blue Devils now at their own 27-yard line. Abramson in at quarterback. Play action looking to pass, and he's going to be sacked back at the 21-yard line.
No, it's neat, too. You see those tackles, then a big 350-pound guy rolls on top of him 4 or 5 times. What do you think, huh? Is that necessary?
Calvin Gardner makes the sack. Clock runs. Probably only be one more play if they run. If they pass, they might get a couple of more plays in here. 2nd down and about 15 now from the 22-yard line. Abramson in the pocket over the right side. Has a man there. Vanderwerk makes the catch, and he's out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at the 34-yard line, short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and about 5 with 26 seconds to go. Certainly a very disappointing afternoon for Tony Lewis and Merced College. The Blue Devils thought they were fairly evenly matched up with Gavilan College. I thought they would have been as well, but not the case today. Blue Devils were flat. The Gavilan defense was inspired. The offense was almost flawless, and a 48-15 score, and that's only because the second stringers have been in there most of the second half. Here's Abramson back to pass. Left side, has a man there, incomplete at the 49-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down as there are now 20 seconds left in the ball game.
Well, again, the quarterback took a pretty good hit, as they have all afternoon for the Blue Devils after they released the ball. You got to be sturdy to stay in there against this defense. Gavilan's really been pouring in there, Bob. 48-15, 20 seconds left. That's it in this ball game. Tony Rossi, Bob Wendell. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast on TCI Cable and also K Fiesta. TCI Cable playing them back on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, then again on Thursday night for those people that miss it on Tuesday.
You know, the one bowl game the Blue Devils did lose, it's been a while ago, the one they did lose was close. They've never been blown out like this in a bowl game.
No.
4th down, about 5 yards to go. But more importantly, only 20 seconds left on the clock. Abramson gives off to Conley. He's tackled at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be Gavilan's ball with 13 seconds to go.
We'll have to thank our sponsors and on the broadcast back at the studio. There's, oh my goodness, one of the Blue Devils is down.
Conley. Amos Conley is down. Yeah, they're looking at him.
So they've really had some ball players going down this afternoon on both teams, but mostly the Blue Devils. We'll take a break. You listen to K Fiesta 106.3 FM.
Well, there's Amos Conley coming off. Looks like he's got a bad ankle there.
Well, we're back 48-15 to score. Only 13 seconds left in the ball game.
And Brian Smith, the quarterback, puts the knee down, and that'll be it. 5 seconds tick off the clock. And Gavilan College has certainly played an outstanding football game here this afternoon, worthy of a victory in Elks Bowl 11, no doubt. Final score of Elks Bowl 11 from Stadium 76 is Gavilan 48 and Merced College 15. Now, Bob Wendell for Tony Rossi, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Inviting you to stay tuned for the post-game show coming up right here on your Blue Devil station, K Fiesta 106.3 FM.